1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at selectquote.com.
Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
But 1.9 left, and that's going to be it. The Wildcats are going to win the Big 12 Tournament Championship to go along with their regular season title. Flemings will inbound it to Tugler, knocked away. There's the horn. It's over. Trophy coming back to Tucson. Celebration at midcourt. The Wildcats do the Big 12 double-double. Regular season and tournament champions. And they keep it rolling, headed to March Madness.
I think that trophy had its own seat on the flight back from Kansas City on Saturday night. That's how important that trophy was to the Arizona Wildcats. Buckled up with the title belt. I think they passed out a title belt of some sort to best players of the game. And Jaden Bradley, your MVP of the Big 12 tournament, to go along with his most valuable player of the year award in the regular season as well. Arizona, Big 12 champions, number 1 seed in the West, number 2 overall seed in the tournament. They passed Michigan because Michigan lost in the Big 10 tournament championship to Purdue. I don't really know what that means. Like, I mean, do you have any idea? Like, what's the? I mean, is there any real worth to being the number 2 overall seed versus just being a number 1 seed?
Again, I mean, the top 4 seeds are going to get regional preference. That's what matters. So no, I don't. There's no difference. You might think that the bracket that the overall top number 1 overall seed has, you might think is weighted to be maybe the easiest of the 4 regions, but in my experience, that's never the case. So it's regional, placement. It's so that your fans can come. That's what the 1 seeds get as a reward for getting those 1 seeds. Not a big difference between the top number 1 overall seed and the 4th best 1 seed in the tournament.
No, not at all. Michigan was the 3rd, and then Florida. I mean, maybe that was the surprise. If there was a surprise, that it was Florida that got the final number 1 seed in the tournament, and so they'll rule over the South, and we'll go from there and see how it all transpires out. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. You can call us at that number today. You can text at that number. We'll talk a lot of basketball. The brackets is complete. Have you started filling out your bracket yet? I am one of those people that literally waits to the last minute. Although I do think, because some of these now, and I've said before, I used to have my own bracket that I used to run back in the day.
You do a weighting system, right?
Yeah, it was a weighted bracket, and I we had it because Cumulus does this bracket thing throughout the country with a number of the stations. I don't think we signed up to do it because you have to pay for it. But one of the questions I was asking in our promotions meeting when it first came up, I was like, is there any way to create this where I could set up the point totals specifically? And, of course, nobody had an answer for that. But we've got this new thing, and I didn't really have time. I mean, we're so busy this time of year, I haven't had thought to try to see if it could come up with a program. But of course, you've got AI now. You've got AI, and we have this, our version of, we don't use Chat GPT, but our version of that is this thing called Copilot. And allegedly, you can just like throw all this information into Copilot, and it's supposed to be able to create things for you in terms of being able to write promos and all kinds of stuff. And so I haven't had a time, and I don't know that I'm going to have time to do this before Thursday, but I was thinking I might try to sit down and just throw all of the information for my tournament that I used to do, where I had weighted point totals for if your alma mater was in the tournament, you got points. If you picked certain upsets, you got points, extra points, just not, because most pools are just the basic, like you win a first round game, you get 2 points or 1 point or however it is. There's nothing, you don't get. I always thought when I came up with my pool, it was like I want to reward. I mean, the first round of the tournament is all about the upsets. I want to reward people that pick those upsets. Because I was like, I'd done so many pools. It's like, well, dang, I picked that team, but I got the same amount of points as you did for picking a favorite. I want more points because I picked that upset. So that's kind of how I came up with my tournament pool, and there were weighted points for upsets, and it went into the deeper rounds. Like in the first round, I think it was like anything 11 and below, or I don't think I had 10. I think it was 11 seed and below, or so 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 if you pick those. And any of those teams won, you got weighted points. If you picked a 16, this was back in the day when 16s didn't ever win. But if you picked a 16 to beat a 1 and that happened, you got like 64 points. I mean, it was like this gigantic amount of points that you could get just to see if anybody would take that chance. It's okay. I mean, if I can get 64 extra points for picking a number 16 to beat a 1, maybe if I see one and looks good, I might take that chance versus just the 2 points I'm going to get if I pick the number 1 seed kind of thing. Because, you can overcome 2 points down the line if you, well, maybe not if that one goes on to win the whole tournament.
Right.
But it was, stuff like that to try to get people to take chances, do things differently. Like there's 16 games on the first day. If you went 15-1 in your picks and the next person, so if you had that, and that was the most of the folks in the tournament, you get an extra 5 or 10 points for that. So it was that kind of stuff where it wasn't just the normal kind of pool. So I was thinking I might go to this Copilot and just throw all of the information in there and see if it can come up with a system where I could track it.
By the way, this Copilot is Microsoft, so it's not like it's two guys in their garage, putting together an app for somebody. That's Microsoft's product.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm sure that they could probably handle it. 2 and 158. That is the record for 16 seeds, by the way.
2 and 158.
2 wins and 158 losses.
Gosh. Yeah. I'm trying to remember. Fairleigh Dickinson was one.
It was Fairleigh Dickinson, and UMBC was the first.
Maryland, Baltimore County.
Yep.
And they're back in it this year, looking to do some more damage to number one.
Virginia was the first victim.
Right.
And then Purdue.
And then didn't Virginia, the next year, came back and won the national championship?
Yeah, and then Purdue had a lot of success the next year as well. I mean,
absolutely.
Kelvin's talked about that so much. The locker room DK after you have promising, regular season and are expected to do big things, and you maybe fall a little shorter than expectations. The 97 men's basketball team that won the championship, there were guys on that team who experienced early NCAA tournament losses.
Right.
So a little bit of extra work in the summer, like you take those shot sessions where you're working on your footwork and all that a little bit more seriously after you got the bad taste of a bad loss the year before.
Yeah. Yeah, so I stopped doing my pool just because it just became too encumbersome to grade. I would cap it out at like 30 people because I was hand grading all the pools, and it takes forever. I would be up late Saturday and Sunday night during March. I felt like I was a teacher grading papers. I was like X, cross, check, cross. Just going
your work
line by line.
Can be checked by DCPK.
There you go. Right. Exactly. And then adding in the extra points. And sometimes you might have 3 winners. Like you might have 3 winners for a particular point total or something. So you'd have to divide. So if it was worth 10 points, each person got 3.3 points, instead of, so you had to, it was minutia like that. And I was like, my goodness, this is like a class trying to grade these pools. I've flirted with bringing it back, but I keep saying that every time I get to this point of the year, I say I'm going to bring my pool back. I still haven't done it, but like I said, maybe if I can throw something in the Copilot and it can tell me how to grade it easily, where I could just push in the numbers and put in the ballots, and it would fill in all the point totals for me. I just don't think that there's I don't think there's even a program now. Because I started this pool in 1990. I think 1995 was the first year I did my pool.
That was before the internet, right? Before telephones existed.
Before AOL, because I don't think I signed up for AOL. Because I didn't sign up for AOL until I got back to Cleveland, and that wasn't until '96. So this would have been a year. Yeah, so my first year doing it would have been 95. And the reason, like, I came up with the alma mater piece was because I was working in minor league baseball at the time. And so we had it seemed like that year every guy in the it was like the office was mostly guys, and I think there were a few girls too, but everybody in the office had a team that was in the tournament. So I'm like, well, cool, like, let's see whose turn. And it was just one of those things where let's see whose team goes the furthest, and whoever's team goes the furthest will get some bonus points for that. And that's how that piece came involved in. I think it was like 6 guys who had, like, including my school. USC was in the tournament that year. So it was like 6 guys in the office.
That's
had
rare,
teams
too.
in the tournament. And I was like,
super rare for the Trojans to be in the tournament.
Exactly. Very rare. That was right after I talked about that yesterday, how we would show up and we'd go to Coach Raveling's house for Selection Sunday, and he would talk about how this is going to be us one day. Now, that never happened while I was a part of the program, but shortly after I left in the early 90s, they had some teams that got into the tournament and made it to the dance during his final few years there as the head coach at Southern California. So, yeah, I mean, that was how that piece kind of came in to being, was just being in a work environment where you had a bunch of guys talking basketball and everybody had a school in the tournament. So
it's still crazy to me that USC's all-time leading scorer didn't play in the tournament.
Yeah, Harold Miner.
Yeah. I mean, because
right.
I saw I want to say 4 games at least, right? Because he played all 4 years. I think. Maybe he left as a junior, but every game that Harold Miner played in McHale Center, DK, I was front and center. That guy was must-see TV.
Absolutely. Fun to watch. Fun to watch for sure. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on today's show. So we will today, we are definitely going to talk about the World Baseball Classic. Unbelievable game last night between the United States and Dominican Republic. The USA wins 2-1. They're in the finals. They're awaiting Venezuela and Team Italy tonight. There's Diamondbacks all over this tournament. 2 of the Diamondbacks involved in 2 of the biggest plays in the game last night for the Dominican Republic. Ketel Marte in the starting lineup, Geraldo Perdomo in the starting lineup. You've got Gino playing tonight for Venezuela. Of course, he's not a Diamondback anymore, but has been for the last couple of years. And the surprise of the tournament, Team Italy. And how about this? And we talked about this last week. How about the fact that the young star for the United States, and maybe a guy who might be about to become the new young star in the game of baseball, Roman Anthony, he had a choice of which team to play for. We talked about this last week. You've got, the Italian team is made up primarily of Italian-American ball players. There may be a smattering of guys that actually are from Italy, born in Italy, but it's mostly Italian-American ball players. Roman Anthony was another one of those guys who had a choice to make because he's got Italian heritage, and he could have played for either country, and he chose to play for the United States. And it goes back to what I asked last week. If you're an Italian-American, which side of the fence are you on in this thing? Are you on the American side? Or are you rooting for your heritage, your long down the line heritage? Even if it's like partial, and you've maybe even never even been to Italy, but hey, I've got Italian heritage, so I'm gonna back the heritage of my family in this event.
You started with Diamondbacks heritage. How about the fact that the only reason that Roman Anthony's on the WBC team for USA is because he's a replacement for Corbin Carroll?
Right. Yeah. Well, there you go. Exactly. And he hits a big home run to beat the Dominican Republic. So there's a lot of interesting angles. We'll also get into the angle today in terms of the World Baseball Classic about where you stand with this event versus where we were a month ago with the United States hockey team playing in the Olympics. How do you weigh these 2 events? Where was your excitement level there in February versus what your excitement level is now for this event? Because I get the feeling, and maybe it's simply because in February it's the Olympics, and we have just this long-standing history with the Olympic Games that goes back generations in this country, but I almost feel like there were more people that were interested in what was happening in a hockey game between the United States and another country than there are people interested in a baseball game between the United States and another country. And we are supposed to be a country that's all about baseball, right?
Right.
Baseball, apple pie, mom, what was it? How did that go? Baseball, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
It's baseball, hockey, and hockey in the Olympics.
I forgot the hot dog part. Baseball, hot dogs, apple pie, and Chevrolet.
I will say this, DK. Hockey in the Olympics has been going on for 100 years, and the WBC is 5 years old.
Well, then, and that's a valid point there. That if that's what it is, and that's what I'm talking about here.
What I mean is, like, when you talk about the U.S. not medaling in how many, you can use the years, the 4 years in between Winter Olympics. So the story being, U.S. hockey has a chance to do something that hasn't been done since the 80s, right? That's not a statement you can make with the WBC. That longevity, I think, has a part to do with the excitement of it. But both are very similar. You're talking about, like, spring training is going on right now. You're talking about a lot of teams ramping up to get ready for the regular season and Major League Baseball. They had to stop the NHL season halfway through, right? Or 3/4 of the way through, just so that their pros could go and play in the Olympics. So similar. But yeah. I think, baseball is always going to be number one. There's so many people in America, DK, who are from, Dominican heritage or, Japanese heritage, or a lot of places around the world that have had a huge amount of interest in baseball over the past 40 or 50 years. And they're hyped up more for this. Why? Because their teams have a great chance. Japan's hockey team, pretty good. I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Dominican hockey team? Yeah, right. So, like, it's just completely, you're talking about, like, the lower hemisphere, the middle strip of the world is where baseball is super popular. So different parts of the world are more excited about those two events.
So I want to hear from you on that today. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. I think I like a lot of those guys on the Venezuela team, but I think I'm rooting for Team Italy tonight because I want to see this Italy United States rematch because, of course, that was the team that beat the United States. There might have been some confusion going on that night. Hopefully, I think
they got down 0-8, right?
Yeah, they were down
big hole early
on. They started a kid I don't think any of us have ever heard of.
Real quick, I think the thing we talk about Arizona basketball and maybe originally recruiting a lot of Southern California kids when Lute first got here because they didn't get offered by UCLA.
Yeah.
So come to Arizona and you'll have a chance. You're going to have this chance to go and play against those big school, quote unquote, big schools that didn't recruit you. We did the math. I think it's 87% of the Italy's team is born in America.
Yeah.
So, like, there's a lot of guys on that team, DK, a lot of MLB guys who are out, who have a little bit more to prove playing against Team USA and all these, billionaire players and the names that we all know of. On that USA World Baseball Classic team. So that's an element to it as well.
Yeah, how's Vinny Pasquantino going to get a job with the USA when you got a guy like Bryce Harper over there at first base? All right, DK on the Sports Take. We'll talk about all of this. We'll review the weekend. Tough weekend for Arizona baseball. Tough weekend for Arizona softball. There's a golf tournament going on over at Tucson Country Club. We'll let you know what's happening there as well, and we'll get you set for a weekend in San Diego with Arizona basketball. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. Or actually Dragon Ball today. In for cricket. Getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We do have an accident with injuries over at South Keno Parkway and East Tucson Marketplace Boulevard. A lot of slowdown at Keno there. And an incident with some property damage slowing things down mightily at East Skyline Drive and North Campbell Avenue. Most of the backup there focusing on Skyline. For your weather right now, 88 degrees, going to stay there until we start getting our temperature drop here about 5 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Staples. Want a great way to boost your brand? Custom labels at Staples will help packages pop, shipments stand out, and takeout boxes really take off. Shop now through April 18th and save 30% on all custom labels. Staples, that was easy.
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com and get ready for the workday.
Progressive knows you could have easily taken the freeway, but you took the scenic route to see a waterfall and an oddly busy boiled peanut stand. Discovering the unexpected is exactly why you bought an RV, so protect it with a bundle from Progressive. Because although you may be 3 hours behind schedule, you're 6 jars of jam richer and possibly enrolled in a butter-churning workshop. Switch to Progressive and protect your RV, boat, or motorcycle by bundling with your home or auto insurance. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
This new year, I want to spend more time with my family, get healthier, and make sure my finances are in order. That includes finally securing life insurance. My friend recommended SelectQuote. They've helped more than 2 million people find coverage in the last 40 years. In 15 minutes, a licensed insurance agent found me a $500,000 policy for only $16 a month. And my husband got a $500,000 policy for only $18 a month. Plus, we qualified for same-day life insurance. No medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With SelectQuote, even if you have a health concern, be it high blood pressure, diabetes, even heart disease, their experienced agents can find you the right life insurance policy at the lowest price. Make life insurance the first resolution you check off your list this year.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-291-9090 to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-291-9090. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-291-9090. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Discover your perfect vehicle at Cactus Auto, Tucson's trusted destination for certified pre-owned cars for over 30 years. They offer a wide range of certified pre-owned vehicles featuring the brands and models you love. Their finance experts are here to provide you with top dollar trade-in offers and help you find the best financing options, regardless of your credit history. With approved credit, enjoy no payments for up to 90 days. Trust Cactus Auto for quality, affordable pre-owned cars, trucks, and SUVs, all backed by incredible savings and a 7-day exchange guarantee. Visit cactusauto.com.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Aiden Bradley will bring it up. He and Philip Pete talking things over here. See what the play is. Hand it off Karchinkov. Vaughn will drive left all the way to the bucket, lay it up and good.
Yeah, great job there by Ivan Karchinkov. One thing he does well is get to that rim, able to use the right hand on the left side of the rim.
First points.
Ivan Karchinkov of the Arizona Wildcats heading to San Diego for the NCAA tournament to open things up against Long Island. We'll get into Long Island. We'll let you hear from Rod Strickland, their head coach. He was a pretty good college basketball player as well as a pretty darn good player in the National Basketball Association. There is one team that's already dealing with some drama this NCAA tournament, and that's the Alabama Crimson Tide. Their guard, Aiden Holloway.
Talk about an unforced error.
Yeah, has been removed from the team after being arrested on felony drug possession charges. That's not good. He was transported to the Tuscaloosa County Jail on Monday morning with bonds set at $5,000. Second leading scorer on the team at 17 points per ball game, shooting 48% from the field.
So between, was it Charles Bediako and now Holloway, you think Nate Oates has gotten more off-court questions this year than maybe any other coach in America?
I would think so.
Well, maybe Bill Self, like the status. Bill Self's had a lot of status questions, but yeah, Nate Oates is going through it.
Yeah, they've had some off-field incidents there under his watch. I don't know how that plays or how that is playing down there, but that's been a definite problem for sure. Aiden Holloway, by the way, did not score a single point in that game. He averaged 17 points a game. He is a starter. Took 2 shots against the U of A, and did not score a single point in that game. I don't remember much about him, but
Ivan Karchenkov.
There you go. Ivan Karchenkov, Mr. Defense. Let's hear a little bit from Ivan, who experienced March Madness. So this again, I always love when our European guys come over, our international students come over, and they get to kind of experience all of this. They have their terms. They call it the March Madness, that kind of thing. So here's what Ivan said yesterday about his first experience with Selection Sunday.
It was pretty cool. That's my first time experiencing it like that, obviously. But no, it was cool. Just for a selection, making this kind of a big deal. It's pretty cool. And it just shows how much the fans care about us.
Do you find, this is new to you. Have you looked at the bracket yet? Other teams in the West thought about things or the game on Friday?
I'm not gonna lie, the bracket is a little bit overwhelming. Too many lines, too many teams. I just look at the game that we're gonna play next, and I think tomorrow we'll have a good meeting. And then on Tuesday we'll have a good prep practice, and on Wednesday we'll travel.
Meet at all today, other than just being at the watch party thing?
Yeah, we met there, and then after coach came by, said, let's not do anything different than we did until now.
It's very interesting, I think I said this way back. I think Tommy's first team, that 21-22 team, that in fact was the last team that went to San Diego, and just kind of we had a chance to talk to a lot of those guys. And you're talking about Ben Matherin and Umar wasn't playing a whole lot at that time, but Christian Coloco and some of those guys, and it was almost like, and I think Kara was obviously on that team too.
Yeah, Dalen Terry, Pella Larson.
And Pella, yeah, exactly. And it was almost kind of cool because I kind of what kind of hit me during that cycle was that a lot of these international kids, they don't grow up with the hysteria that is March Madness like it is here in the United States. It's just a part of our lexicon, a part of our culture. And if you're an American basketball player, you grow up, you dream about it, all that kind of stuff, and they don't necessarily see it from that perspective, which I think in a lot of instances is good, because they're not. It doesn't become overwhelming for them. They don't understand the hysteria that we have in this country for this 3 weeks of basketball that's about to begin. Where if you're an American kid and you've dreamed about getting to this point all your life, it can sometimes become overwhelming once you actually get into it and like, okay, I've been waiting for this opportunity. Now I've got to perform. So I almost like the fact that a lot of the international players, don't really understand it all to a degree.
Well, it makes perfect sense because you know what else European players like Ivan Karchenkov don't have? They don't have high school athletics, DK. They have club sports. You don't play high school basketball for your high school team. So what do we have in America? As a freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior in high school, if you want to win the state championship of California, it's the exact same process as the NCAA tournament. So it's kind of baked into our culture, this whole idea of a big bracket, win and move on, lose and go home. You're going to have, the chance to play one team today, but there's an opportunity to play, 100 different teams in California state championships, and same for the NCAA tournament. So completely understandable that someone like Ivan Karchenkov looks at the NCAA tournament bracket and is like, what is this? Because they don't have anything like that growing up in Europe. So, but the most important thing is that those players who did grow up here, those players who, when they were 10 years old, 12 years old, DK, saw a highlight package of the NCAA tournament, and that was the day they decided, I'm going to do everything I can to be an NCAA basketball player one day and have my family see me up there on that TV, during that March Madness song. I think it's baked into our culture, and as long as all the other players who are used to growing up in that environment explain to the European players who come over, they get it. They get that basketball games are important. The idea of playing 6 games to get to a final game, right, that might be a little bit foreign, but they understand the importance of winning postseason basketball games.
Yeah. I would have loved if I had been there yesterday to just ask Ivan if he even knows what the term "one shining moment" means. To see what his reaction was, because again, that's another piece of the lexicon, like you were talking about. Everybody wanting to see themselves up on the video, win or lose at the end of the tournament. Did I make one shining moment? Did I get something that I did that made the piece that's the anthem for this entire 3-week process? And so you wonder. I don't know if I've ever asked that specific question to any of the international players, if they even know what one shining moment is or if it means. But we may have to do that this week for sure. All right. So one of the things that went viral during the winning of the Big 12 tournament was Ivan took several pictures. After the game, he had a picture with the Pride of Arizona, the traveling band that was at the game in Kansas City under the direction of Professor Chad Shootman. We had Chris Brown on the show yesterday. I love how he still calls him Professor Chad Shootman, because he is. He's a professor at the university, and I love how his kids still refer to him as that. It's so fun when they refer to Shoop as Professor Chad Shootman. But so he took a picture with the band. He also took a picture with the Palm Line after the game, and these two instances went viral. Here was Ivan talking about celebrating with other members of the Arizona Wildcat community.
No, I mean I just love everybody that support us. And I know how difficult it is, standing on the sidelines for the whole game, traveling, supporting us, and, they're doing their job and we're doing our job. And I'm so happy that, we can give back to the community. I just love the support. It really feels like they're, a part of us, especially when they're traveled. In the first game, I remember they traveled also to Vegas, what I didn't expect, and they also traveled here to the tournament, and that just means a lot. That at least something we can take with us from Mikhail.
Yeah, and I think that you even loved it more. The shot that Jaden Bradley made, because he literally fell right into the Palm Line that was standing there on the sideline, and they got to be a part of that celebration, to kind of watch their reactions as the shot goes up, and they're cheering, and Jaden's laying down there on the ground right in front of them, and the Palm Line, they're rolling their palms like they do when good stuff happens for the University of Arizona. That was it was fun that happened at that end of the court, where that group of students got a chance to talk. I mean, that'll be something they'll talk about for the rest of their lives. I was on the baseline. Mama was on the baseline, Johnny, when Jaden Bradley hit the shot to beat Iowa State in 2026.
Yeah, I mean, having been here since the 70s, I was on the very tail end of the kiddie core era, but civic pride, DK, is really hard to measure. But I will tell you this. You spent a lot of time in Los Angeles. You've been around some big cities. If UCLA is successful, that's great.
Yeah.
If UCLA is not successful, how many more pastimes are there to do in Los Angeles? So Tucson being the largest college town in America, the separation between fandom and Arizona men's basketball program is so thin because the city has always been there. I was there when they got back from their first Final Four, When they got off the plane, they went to the stadium, the football stadium. The number of people who were here to celebrate Steve Kerr and Sean Elliott from that very first Final Four, and nothing's changed ever since. So that thing that Ivan Karchenkov's talking about the support from the band, from the fans, from everybody who takes the time to travel, it's been building for a long, long period of time. And right by now, it's just baked in. I mean, Tucson is a basketball town, right? Isn't that the name of the book? So watching that and watching new people come into the program and have such a successful year like they have here, most wins in program history, the longtime Arizona men's basketball fans will have always been there and will always be there. And every year, GK, every year you pick up some new fans. You think Ivan Karchenkov's family aren't Arizona basketball fans for life from this point forward? Right. I wanted to say really something else about Shootman. If you guys didn't get a chance, Boban Marjanovic was in town. You might have seen some pictures of him playing with the U of A band, and they released a video of Boban's time here in Tucson on campus a couple of days ago. And Chad Shootman is a great actor. Let's put it that way, DK, because
band, I think.
He does some great acting in that little sketch where he acts as if he's a little upset with Boban. So yeah, and during the game, like right during the game, one of the goals for Boban was to not get kicked out of the band. I won't spoil it for you, but yeah, Chad Shootman was in that as well and did a great job welcoming Boban to campus.
All right, let's hear one more from Ivan Karchenkov about his superstar status around campus.
At the beginning of the season, a couple of my teammates told me, you will be recognized in an open space, especially in Tucson. Whereas at the beginning, nobody really knew me, and that was not the case. But they said, wait, a couple games, and they will recognize you, and it happened. But I don't think it's because of March Madness or anything. It's just because they get to know me a little bit better.
There you go. And if you get to know him, you definitely like him. I said right away after we interviewed him that first day, immediately I said, man, this kid's gonna be fun to watch. And he's going to be a popular person, I think.
I was just going to say, we should bring back that first media day, that sit-down that you did with Ivan Karchenkov before he played in the Red Blue, before he played in any preseason games. Those interviews are great.
Yeah. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Want to hear your thoughts on anything you heard Ivan say there. Arizona basketball as they get set. What do you like about the West bracket? Tommy said yesterday, and you'll hear this coming up a little bit later, all I care about is the first weekend. So all his focus is on the opening game against Long Island, and obviously they're starting to build their packages for what they might get in the second game between Utah State and Villanova, because you got to win the first tournament to get to the second tournament in March.
Utah State's coach had some thoughts today.
Oh, did he?
Yeah. He doesn't think they should be a 9 seed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you don't hear coaches complain about seeding generally until after they've maybe lost in a tournament.
I heard one of the...
He came out today and he said, we should not be a 9 seed.
I heard one of the pundits in Phoenix believes that they will beat Villanova. So... that might be...
For the record, it's 8-9 is the matchup.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're either the 9 or the 8. I mean, there's not a lot of wiggle room there.
Cricket, I should say, that's twice now. Dragon Ball is in for cricket. I saw cricket this morning. That's why I'm Hershey's.
You think Dragon Ball could do a cricket impression?
I don't know. Maybe we'll ask him that when he comes in here in the next hour. He's getting you home, though, every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have a disabled vehicle on the left shoulder of the I-10 westbound near South Park Avenue at milepost 262. Be aware of that. And a hit and run slowing things down mightily at the intersection of South Palo Verde Road and East Ajo Way in all directions. Try to avoid that spot if you can. If your weather is still at about 88 degrees, we'll eventually be out of the 80s here, but it won't be until about 7 o'clock later tonight. I'm Dragon Ball with the Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. And My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-approved protection to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
I'm Boomer Esiason. My mom died from cancer. She was only 37 years old. She didn't have life insurance, and that was devastating for my family. That's why having life insurance is so important to me. Ethos makes it fast and easy. Get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. You can get up to $3 million in coverage with no medical exam.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me.
Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling?
AlaskanAC.com.
Schedule now.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
I'm Pat Boyle here to help you beat the book in Westwood One Sports. The Spurs visit the Clippers tonight in L.A., and with Kawhi Leonard doubtful to play, the Clips offense is going to suffer. The Clippers have been one of the best-rated offenses in the NBA in the last 15 games, but this season, when Kawhi doesn't play, they're in the bottom half of the league. The Spurs have been a top-5 defense all year, and they held the Clippers to their season average in the most recent meeting when Leonard played. If he's out, let's go under on the Clips team total points. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. I'm David Kelly, JW Madden with me today. Dragon Ball on traffic. We'll hear from him coming up as well in the 4 o'clock hour. Get his thoughts on everything that's happened over the weekend and your Arizona Wildcats being the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament in the West, heading to San Diego as expected. Be a lot of Wildcats over there. I'm sure our friend Ann will be over there, I'm sure, in San Diego this weekend, cheering on her Wildcats. And we want to hear from you today at 520-848-1290. I've also got a sweet deal I'll tell you about. And don't forget, we're going to be at Showtime Cards coming up on Wednesday. Join me over there from 3 to 6. Wild Card Wednesday. We'll have live box breaks happening right in store. You never know what you might pull. We talked a lot of Olympics the last time we were out there, right after the U.S. Olympic hockey team won the gold medal, beating Canada. Baseball, football, basketball, soccer. We've talked about all that. MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars. We've gotten into all the subjects, and they've got cards for all those subjects. Showtime Cards has something for every collector.
By the way, if you are going to San Diego and you'd like to maybe hang out with some Arizona alumni, Ann's group are the Beach Cats.
Beach Cats.
And you can find them at San Diego Beach Cats.
There you go. The Beach Cats, I'm sure they will be all
Tavern
over the
bar,
place.
right? Tavern bar is where they hang out?
Yeah, I think it was called, was that the Tavern at the Beach is what it was. Yeah, Tavern at the Beach is where they are, for sure. But I'm sure a lot of them will be at the Vijas Arena.
Yeah. I just mean all the festivities surrounding it. There's a huge alumni base in Southern California. So definitely hook up with those guys if you go out there.
Definitely. And I'm sure that they're going to be all over the place. They generally have a pregame party on the day that the Wildcats play. Now, I don't think that's going to be quite possible on Friday because if you had not heard, the Arizona Wildcats are going to be playing at 10:35 in the morning on Friday. They'll be the first game of the day. There'll be 4 basketball games in San Diego on Friday, and the Wildcats will be the first of those basketball games. So we are going to be on the air really, really early. We'll be on the air at 7 a.m. Friday with Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, your pregame show, 7 to 10 for us, and then 10:35 is the anticipated first, or tip-off, I should say, for the Wildcats and Long Island. So be ready to go early. Breakfast with the Wildcats on Friday. And don't forget, again, catch all the action with us this Wednesday. We'll be out at Showtime Cards from 3 to 6. Showtime Cards is located on Speedway, just east of Craycroft. So join us and bring your app. If you show the app to our team out there, they're going to show you or tell you how you possibly can win $100. How about that? All right. Let's see. I think we've got a couple people potentially waiting to talk.
So I was talking to Chris. She can't get on the air, but she is going up to the Big 12 championships in Salt Lake City for the Gym Cats. She was calling to make sure that there would be no conflicts with the Arizona men's basketball schedule. We also have our favorite caller from Phoenix.
All right, so let's hear from Paul.
Like to hear from Paul.
Paul is on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK and J-Dub, hey guys, like the kids say, don't the kids say something like, well, on Friday, if you don't start drinking in the morning early, you can't drink all day or something like that? What do they say?
I don't think the kids said that. I think the head football coach said that.
There you go. See what I mean? See, you know it. I was just setting you up for that one. But hey, you know what though? It'll be fun. I have not even looked at my bracket. Okay, I'm hearing different names. Things pop into my head, and I've heard a couple things. I've heard McNeese State. I don't know. I've heard that name.
Okay.
And I'm almost sure I'm going to pick them. First round game. I don't even know who they play. I'll be very honest. I don't know who they play yet, but I have a feeling I'm going to pick them when it opens. I don't know if it's a 6-11. I'm not sure. Whatever it is. J-Dub probably has it at the ready. But here's the other thing, real quick. Can we talk just real quick about the baseball versus the Olympic thing, hockey thing, all that stuff?
Oh, yeah.
I really kind of think this is me being sour grape type guy because I'm a Diamondback fan. Okay, I kind of think the Dodgers have kind of watered down or kind of ruined baseball a little bit for some of us, like, oh, come on, and the hockey thing was great, the Olympics, blah, 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 so on and so forth. And also, I don't know if people realize this, but there's a pretty good chance there's going to be a baseball strike, walkout, lockout, whatever you want to call it, for 2027. And people are talking that people are going to dig their heels in. They could cancel the entire season, 2027 baseball season. Now, what would that do to baseball? No, I mean, think about it. For the people who are on the fence, like me, okay, it would push me further away. You know what I mean? It's like it's sad, but that's kind of what happens when you do that. You push it. If you were to cancel a season, how many people will be like, oh, okay, I am gonna follow.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
Paul, what I'll say to that is we've been down this road before, and we've had seasons stopped. I mean, heck, my Indians were on the way to the best season ever in 1994 when the season got shut down. And now that's a different situation because we had not won in a long time. So there was no way and I love baseball too much. I'm never going to walk away from it. Of course, we were all upset about that. But, 1995, we couldn't wait to get back playing again because we knew we had a team capable of going to the World Series, the first one in forever in Cleveland. So there was no way we were walking away from the sport. And people are going to be mad and it's not going to be fun. And we go through this every 20 years or so. But I think at the end of the day, if you love the sport, you'll get over it and you'll be back there.
Speaking of 20 years, remember the outrage when A-Rod signed a $250 million contract? That was 2000. And now Juan Soto makes $780 million, right? What's Shohei's deal? So there's a little bit of a disconnect. And, you mentioned the Dodgers ruining it, but before that it was the Yankees, right?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
The Astros have had a huge high payrolls recently. It's the haves and have-nots as always. DK is the biggest baseball fan I know. And to me, from the average casual fan like myself, the biggest turnoff from Major League Baseball is just the outrageous stretching of the contracts over the past 20 or 30 years as interest wanes, right? As the popularity of the NFL continues to balloon and obviously other sports are competing with America's pastime. Baseball will always be popular, but you're right. I mean, I'm not here to talk about 2027 lockouts and all that stuff because I'll talk about it when it happens. But I think that you're right as far as, the steroid issue with McGuire and Sosa and how many people were super hyped about all that and the downfall, DK, of when that all turned into, talking more about what was happening in a lab as opposed to what was happening behind home plate. I think it's baseball's at a place where they've been climbing, trying to get those younger people interested, trying to trim down the game times and all those things they do with pitch counts to try to keep the game exciting. And that they're also at risk of losing a big part of their younger audience if you're looking at guys who are making, upwards of $100 million a year, deciding they want to hold out to make a little bit more.
Right. Can I ask a question about that real quick, guys? You'll probably know this, or maybe we'll get a tax guy on there. But Otani, he's got a gigantic contract, right? $750 million, right? Okay. But it's deferred to way out there in the future.
Yeah.
Correct?
It's like Magic.
Some of it, not all of it.
Remember Magic Johnson?
Yeah, there's some of it that's deferred.
Do you remember Magic Johnson?
Yeah.
Right.
So Magic signed the first ever million a year contract, but it was $25 million over 25 years. Right. And he signed that when he was in his 30s. I remember when that happened. And this is the same kind of deal where, stock options and deferring. It's just so that they don't have to, have as much money on the payroll for each year, on the books for each year, but can also pay the best player in baseball what he's worth.
Okay, but let me ask you this. The Dodgers are in California, and we all know the current tax bracket of California, okay? If he moves, say, for instance, to Arizona, and they pay the defer money, do they pay it as if he's here in Arizona and his tax base is a lot better than in California? Again, this is a total stupid question for a Monday, but I've always thought that guy, wow, maybe the Dodgers are smart, or maybe Otami's smarter than the rest of us, saying, hey, as soon as this contract's up, I'm out of baseball. I'm moving someplace where I will collect my money, but my money's not going to be paid. I'm not doing services in California anymore. I'm doing services in Idaho or wherever the.
Well, I think it's like
low.
I think it's like anything else. I mean, that you're wherever you are when you get that money, is where you pay your taxes on that money. So yeah, I mean,
So
if he's not
so
living
who's
in
the smartest one? The kid's smart.
Yeah.
What a genius. I mean, think about. I mean, can you imagine? Think of the tax. Think about the millions of dollars that he potentially could save or make or whatever you want to call it. Wow, somebody's smart. Somebody's really smart about that.
Sometime look into why all corporations incorporate New Hampshire, and that'll be your answer to your question.
See, David, why does J-Dub always bring the room down? See what I'm talking about?
I mean, like, wherever that money's being paid from, it's probably not L.A. That would be my guess.
That's right. David, safe travels to you, my friend, okay? Please don't hang out at the football field's parking lot where it's all muddy and all that stuff, although there's no rain. It's going to be nice and hot over there. And you'll hang out in the nice place, probably. I've never been to that the Aztecs arena there.
Yes, I mean, it's not a bad little building. Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah, what does it hold, about 19? Is it 19?
Yeah, I don't know if it's that many. It might be about around that many. I can't remember exactly what the attendance is on.
Well, it's going to be crazy. It'll be fun. There'll be a good contingent of people going across the 8 all the way over there. So, hey, you know what?
Viejas is 12,414.
Oh, that's it? I thought it was bigger.
Viejas, is about 13.
Wow. Is that a news? It's not new, is it?
It was built. No, it's not new. No, it was built in the mid-90s.
Okay, gotcha. I just remember us going over there with Luke.
They've revamped
Luke hated playing over there.
They've revamped it, but initially it was opened in July of '97.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, well, guys, bear down, and you know what? This is the fun stuff, and I will look at my brackets probably tomorrow night or Wednesday, and then we'll go from there. Are there any in office little side wagers, not wagers, but like, hey, if I have a better bracket, you have to do my work this week, or you have to bring in donuts or something? Are you guys doing anything like that?
We don't have anything like that currently, Paul, no.
Okay, well, you guys need to work on it.
Maybe we will.
Tell Cricket. Put her in charge of it.
Oh, yeah.
Put her in. Thanks, guys. Bear
Cricket
down.
loves basketball.
Appreciate it. He mentioned McNeese at the top. McNeese is a 12 seed in the East, and they will play Vanderbilt to open up the South, and they'll play Vanderbilt to open up.
So Juan Soto makes $90 million a year this year, something like that?
Right.
You want to take a guess who the highest paid player of the 80s was?
The highest paid players in the 80s. Cal Ripken.
Probably the most synonymous player with the era, but George Brett. And it was $1 million per year. $1 million per year. That's what I mean. It's like the since I was around, DK, and this is a lot of sports these days, but the numbers you see today relative to what we saw, which wasn't that long ago. I know the joke is the 90s seemed not long ago to you and I, but it really was 30 years ago. But, the 80s and 90s, those players were making pennies relative to what's going on today.
Yeah. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number. Give us a call. Give us a text. Let us know your thoughts on the Wildcats World Baseball Classic, United States hockey versus United States baseball. What has made you more excited? Were you more excited about USA hockey beating the Canadians or in the Olympic tournament? Or are you more excited about USA baseball in the World Baseball Classic? Anybody that saw that game last night, if you'd never watched international baseball, you would have absolutely fallen in love with the sport, because that was an absolutely fabulous baseball game last night between the United States and the Dominican Republic. We'll dive more into that as well before we're out of here at 6 o'clock. Cricket is getting you home. That's 3 times. Every 3 breaks. I don't even remember who my traffic person
I think you just
today.
miss cricket. That's all.
Maybe. I always miss cricket when she's not around. Dragon Ball is here for cricket, and he's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We do have an accident with injuries over at East Broadway Boulevard and North Craycroft Road, with all directions here grinding to a stop as they try to clear out this crash. We also have an accident with possible injuries at West Roger and North Oracle Road. Majority of the backup here going to be focusing on Roger as you get to the intersection there. Still going to be staying at 88 degrees here for the next hour or so before we eventually start going ahead and getting our cool down here at 6. I'm Dragon Ball through Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm. Having trouble sleeping? Visit Mattress Firm during the Upgrade Your Sleep sale. Their sleep experts will help find your perfect bed from a premium selection of top brands. They make sleep easy.
Big Jake here from Old Tucson. Enjoy Hollywood-style stunt shows, saloon shows, magic, shootouts, rides, games, fine food and drinks, and more. For more family fun than you can shake a stick at, head on out to Old Tucson, oldtucson.com.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You know it. Your neighbors know it. And let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be. But thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was. And even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it, your neighbor's kid does it, and yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword, fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
At Goldberg and Osborne, we know Arizona. It's where we live. It's where we work. It's where we've fought and won cases for the injured since 1989. Throughout our history, we've approached every case with a single focus: you. And we've got thousands of 5-star reviews to prove it. Put us to work for you by calling 1-800-THE-EAGLE today.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Give us a call. Give us a text. Let's talk some Arizona basketballs. The fellas will have today off and be back at it tomorrow. and in San Diego Thursday. I would imagine they may go in on Wednesday, and then the first official day at the NCAA tournament for them is Thursday. Now, there'll be games, obviously, on Thursday because the tournament itself, the main bracket begins that day. But the Wildcats will play on Friday, so Thursday will be a practice day for them in San Diego. San Diego will be the site for, again, there'll be 4 games that day. One of the other games will be Villanova and Utah State, who will play in San Diego that day. So that'll be a fun one. That'll be the game that'll lead into the Arizona Wildcats playing. I mentioned that I was watching some of the pundits last night. There are a lot of people out there that believe that Iowa State is going to go to the Final Four. I think Jay Billis might have had 3. Somebody had 3 Big 12 teams that I saw. Somebody had 3 Big 12 teams: Arizona, Houston, and Iowa State in the Final Four.
Yeah. I mean, Iowa State's been a top 5 team all year, so that's not a big stretch. I think what you're seeing now is Duke lost 2 of their best defensive perimeter players. So that's going to be as much as Duke is the number 1 overall seed. And you think about teams like Michigan and Florida that we've talked so highly of, UConn as well, have all faltered a little bit down the stretch. So, yeah, Iowa State's in the same conversation as a lot of those teams, and namely, DK, because they are one of the best 3-4 defensive teams in the country.
Right.
So at this time of year, if your shot's not falling, what can you rely on? Well, they can always rely on turning teams over and getting out in those passing lanes and turning that into offense. That's just what they do.
Yeah, so that'll be interesting. I don't know. I mean, again, I think they're a really good team. I just don't know that they've got enough to get that deep into the tournament.
Have you seen any Cyclones games other than Arizona's? Because here's the thing. Arizona's personnel is a really bad matchup for Iowa State. So if you watch Iowa State play any other team, especially teams that don't have 260-pound guys who can move their feet, they're a very, very tough out. They're really, really, really quality team top to bottom. Obviously, we know it took a last-second shot from JB to win that game. But, yeah, I think Iowa State, if you go watch some of the games that they played versus other competition, is a better indicator of them versus the field. Arizona's front court is just built different.
In San Diego, you actually have 2 regions playing there. You have the West region, and then there's also 2 games in the East region. So the morning session for us, it's afternoon on the East Coast, but the morning session for us is the West region. So again, that'll be Long Island, Arizona, Utah State, Villanova, and then the evening session is going to be 2 East region matchups in the first round. So you'll have Northern Iowa and St. John's. So Rick Pitino will be in San Diego with us, and also you'll have Kansas and Cal Baptist. So we will have Bill Self and Darren Peterson and company. I might have to sneak into the I don't have to sneak in because I'll have a credential, but I might have to go into the locker room there for Kansas and get to Darren and find out what's going on in his
I think
mind.
what Bill Self really needs is for you to ask him a question about Darren Peterson's availability. That's what he wants.
There
yeah,
you
for
go.
sure.
There you go. Cal Baptist, that's another school that you're not maybe used to hearing in the NCAA tournament, but good for them. I've known some people that have been involved with Cal Baptist, and it's always great to see some teams maybe that we're not used to seeing get a chance to qualify and play in the NCAA
First
tournament.
ever.
Yeah, it was first time ever. Well, there you go. That's really, really cool.
Well, they just transitioned in 2008.
Yeah.
So they were Division II for a long time. So, yeah, they haven't had a lot of years to try and qualify, but this is their first time ever in the NCAA tournament.
We got a chance to hear from Tommy Lloyd yesterday. And first and foremost, let's hear from the head coach on his guard, Jaden Bradley, who suffered an injured wrist in the Big 12 Tournament Championship win for the Wildcats over the Houston Cougars and maybe was not quite himself in the second half after that. Let's hear from Tommy on Jaden.
I mean, my check-in with J-Rock today was we came out of it good. We came out of the tournament fine. I mean, obviously, 3 games in 3 days, has our attention. And, so we are thankful. You look at some of these teams, I mean, didn't Purdue or whatever, and they just played, right? Michigan. Yeah. Purdue, Michigan. And I think one of them is playing on Thursday. Imagine that. I mean, that's – that's tough. Especially coming off a conference tournament where you made it to the final and you played 3 hard games in 3 days. So we're thankful for the Friday deal, and that's just probably luck of the draw a little bit. But, that also gave me a little bit of confidence. Like, once we got in that tournament, we have enough in the tank to go see if we can win this thing.
Maybe it's too early to tell, but, could you have to have a wrap released by Friday? Or
I have no idea. I mean, I haven't heard one thing about if there's going to be any treatment necessary or whatever. But J-Rock told me we're fine. I mean, just the normal bumps and bruises, but he told me we came out of it fine.
J-Rock, for those of you maybe that are still not aware, that is Justin Kukowski, longtime athletics trainer for the University of Arizona, one of the best in the business for sure. And we've talked about him throughout the year, how it seems like he's just miraculously gotten guys back out there when you didn't necessarily think they'd be able to go out there. And, they turned around after what looked like an injury that could keep Jaden out for the second half and got him right back out there.
It must be because Tucson has the giant gems show, right? So Kukowski's just out there getting healing crystals and making sure that the team is ready to go. Their auras are all good and all that stuff.
Yeah. I mean,
the modern medicine, DK, the advancements that have come since Steve Kerr was on campus, right? Relative. So it's always impressive to me how quickly we've seen some turned angles. How about Anthony Delorso, right?
Yeah.
When he went down in that game, it just seemed like that was an injury that may linger, and he was right back out there and didn't seem like he skipped a beat. So, yeah, Justin Kukowski, definitely one of the best in the business.
520-848-1290 is the number if you want to get in on the program. Let's hear from Tommy. Just really kind of talking about let's see, his first opportunity. Well, actually, I'm going to play this one here. Just talking about his team's overall versatility in this group here in 2025-26.
I mean, obviously versatility is important, to be able to play against the different styles and different matchups. I think our team, has a lot of bandwidth for able to win games in different ways. And, and obviously, we have our core things we really believe in and trust. But you also can't be stubborn enough to think that's always going to get it done. You know what I mean? You definitely need some plan Bs and plan Cs at times too.
All right, that's the head coach of your Arizona Wildcats, Tommy Lloyd, talking a little bit about, everything he's gotten from this team, building a record of 32-2 and becoming a number 1 seed for the second time in his tenure here. Pleased to be joined by the third member of our program, and that is Dragon Ball today. Dragon Ball, great to see you. Your thoughts on the weekend that was in terms of your Arizona Wildcats winning the Big 12 and as expected, becoming a number 1 seed in the tournament.
Well, you never can take these things for granted in regards to whether or not a team becomes a 1 seed, because there were some question marks about certain teams, whether or not Michigan probably wasn't going to get the 1 seed after losing to Purdue, but they managed to hold out fort and get the double-double, like Brian said in his final call, getting the regular and the tournament championship for the Big 12, getting a little bit of revenge, although I don't think you can really call it that against Houston, considering last year's Big 12 championship, winning this time over the Cougars. It was a bit of a scare on a couple of those games. I know Iowa State was the one a lot of fans had a little bit more pulling on the collar at the very last couple minutes, but Houston is a team that likes to make runs late, and the Cats managed to survive and keep the Cougars from making that comeback. So impressive overall weekend and a very impressive championship win over Houston for Tommy Lloyd's crew there.
All right, Tommy said he's only looking at the first weekend, and that obviously is the first game against Long Island, potential second game against Villanova and Utah State. So we'll just stay right there. But Villanova in your second game, and again, this is not Villanova from 2 or 3 years ago, 5 years ago, or whatever, but still, that's a program that's won 2 national championships in this decade.
But that was with a gentleman by the name, I believe, of Jay Wright, who was the head coach of that particular
Everybody
program.
on the Knicks, if you want to just go ahead and name all of them. Yeah. Jalen Brunson's not walking through that door.
Knicks.
No, the Villanova Knicks are not going to be the team that would be in the second round. But nonetheless, like you said, DK, it's a team that has a lot of that pedigree, that has a lot of that, they have that wherewithal with them to say, hey, This is a program that's gone deep before, and all it takes is a couple of good plays to make a run and a couple games to really make that Cinderella story happen. Now, again, you always want to just focus on the team that's up at hand, and that's going to be Long Island. Tommy Lloyd's the one game at a time coach, and that's what needs to happen because, again, a lot of folks are going to look at, hey, don't look too far ahead because we don't want another Santa Clara. We don't want another Princeton. We don't want another one of those moments happening early in this year's University of Arizona team because this is probably a team that has as much a chance as any to go deep in the tournament than maybe Tommy Lloyd has had in any of his previous years coaching here at U of A.
Well, Tommy can't look past this weekend, but I can, and we can. So who do you most want to see if the Wildcats get to the regional final? Who do you most want to see play? Gonzaga, Purdue, BYU, or Texas? Which one of those 4 teams would most excite you?
I think that of all the teams that are there, I would definitely say Gonzaga is the one that everyone, I think, wants to see. Tommy Lloyd versus Mark Few.
Right. Now, this is the problem I had when they canceled the home and home, okay? So Arizona and Gonzaga were supposed to play in Tommy Lloyd's first year. They're supposed to play the first game of a home and home. And the logic was our families are connected. Our wives are best friends. Our children are best friends. We just don't want to do that to those people. So we're going to make sure that, we're not going to play these two games that have been previously scheduled 5 years ago. We're going to not play because we're all too connected. 5 years later, the potential guys at their first game coaching against each other could be to get to a Final Four? Are you kidding me? That's not infinitely worse of a first time going up against your mentor than it would have been on some neutral court in November? No. Like, that's the one issue I have with them canceling that home and home is that inevitably you're probably going to have to coach against your mentor and all the things that come with that. And if the powers that be decide it, well, guess what? Arizona and the Zags could meet. Mark Few versus Tommy Lloyd could, first time they ever meet up against each other, could be with a chance to go to the Final Four.
And in the end, I mean, the tournament bracket makers are not foolish enough to say,
they've denied it for 20, 30, 40 years.
Yes.
Every time they're asked, there's no narratives. We're not putting teams in the brackets. Like, yeah, sure. Then why is Sean Miller in the same bracket as Arizona?
Exactly.
That doesn't make any sense.
And it was eventually going to happen because how many times are you going to put Gonzaga in any bracket other than the West?
Right,
how many times are you going to put Arizona in any bracket other than the West? It was going to happen eventually.
If they're the 1 and 2 seed, if they're the 2 best teams, they're going to consistently be in the same bracket.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right, Dragon Ball is in for cricket, and he's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruising Associates Traffic Center, we have the Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. We have an accident with injuries over at East Bellevue Street and North Columbus Boulevard. A lot of backup here on North Columbus Boulevard as you get to that intersection there. Also, an accident with injuries over at North 4th Avenue and East Speedway Boulevard. Most of the backup here going to be on Speedway going in both directions there, so try to avoid Speedway right now if you can. As for your weather right now, currently looking about 88 degrees still. We're not going to get that cooling until about 6 o'clock where we finally drop down to about 83 there at 6 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Duke's Mayo. Duke's, it's got twang.
This is the Duke's Country Song. It's a song about the best mayo. It has a yellow lid, and its full name is Duke's Mayonnaise. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-8695. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS.
Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start.
Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems.
We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau.
You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com
or call 800-575-8695. That's 800-575-8695.
Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-approved protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
You know it, your neighbors know it, and let's face it, the mailman knows it too. Your yard just isn't what it used to be, but thankfully, Dorado Rock Materials can get you, well, your yard anyway, back to what it once was, and even better. Dorado Rock Materials has just what your yard needs, from decorative rock to boulders and everything in between, brought right to you. And if you need help spreading it, we can help with that too. Dorado Rock Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Tucson, get ready. Championship golf is back. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences tees off March 20th through the 22nd at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. PGA Tour champions battle it out for the legendary Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. And it's all for a great cause, benefiting colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Don't miss it. March 20th through the 22nd. Get your tickets now at CologuardClassic.com.
From work to errands to family life, your car takes a beating. At Recon Auto Detailing, we don't just protect it, we maintain it.
They installed my ceramic coating in shop, and now their mobile team keeps it looking brand new, right in my driveway.
Ceramic coatings, PPF, tint, all installed professionally at Recon Auto Detailing. And with our mobile detailing, we keep that fresh, protected look mile after mile. One-stop shop, zero hassle, that's Recon Auto Detailing, Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Are you planning a home renovation? Getting quotes on windows, doors, cabinets, countertops, or flooring? Before you commit, visit the Window Depot and make sure you're not overpaying. The Window Depot is your one-stop shop for top quality products at the lowest prices. We're locally owned and operated with no installers and no middlemen, so you save big. Perfect for DIYers, contractors, and homeowners. Visit a location near you or shop online at thewindowdepot.com. The Window Depot, more than a window store.
Big Jake here from Old Tucson. Enjoy Hollywood-style stunt shows, saloon shows, magic, shootouts, rides, games, fine food and drinks, and more. For more family fun than you can shake a stick at, head on out to Old Tucson, oldtucson.com.
I'm Bridget Condon with NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network. Running back David Montgomery is ready to be the lead back again now that he's a member of the Houston Texans. During his introductory press conference on Friday, he said he's not going to explain what he can or can't do on the field. Instead, he's going to, quote, show it. Elsewhere, the Eagles have agreed to terms on a one-year deal with tight end Dallas Goedert, according to NFL Network insiders Mike Garafolo and Ian Rappaport. This comes after Goedert agreed to push back the void date on his contract before hitting free agency twice. Plus, the Giants have signed wide receiver Darnell Mooney to a one-year deal worth up to $10 million, according to NFL Network insider Ian Rappaport. And the Chargers have locked in their backup quarterback, signing Trey Lance to a one-year deal. This will be his second season backing up Justin Herbert in Los Angeles. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
The tournament is here, and Total Wine & More is your slam dunk headquarters. Whether you're cheering courtside from your couch with crisp craft beers, smooth bourbons, or refreshing seltzers, we've got the perfect lineup to keep your watch party winning. And just like your bracket, we've got a lineup full of contenders. Whether you're picking favorites or going for bold upsets, our friendly guides will help you find amazing drinks for every matchup. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll always find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine & More.
Drink responsibly, B21.
While retinitis pigmentosa takes Mark's vision, his family gives him hope, whether at the family business or at home with his wife and sons. He knows he's not fighting alone. For 50 years, the Foundation Fighting Blindness has funded research into treatments and cures for blinding retinal diseases, providing hope to people with vision loss. And for Mark, winning the fight means being there for his family. The Foundation Fighting Blindness. Together, we're winning. Help us end blinding diseases at fightingblindness.org.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on the program. Arizona baseball had a tough weekend in Salt Lake City.
Line drive, base hit! Tying run to the plate! Here comes the winning run! Throw won't be in time! Utah wins it! Gilliam walks it off!
This was actually a really good baseball series between the Wildcats and the Utah Utes. 2 of the games went to extra innings. All 3 of the games were decided in the final at bat for each of the teams that won. The Wildcats were Friday night were down 6-2 going into the 9th inning, and they scored 4 times to force extra innings. Got a big 3-run home run from Caleb DeSenzen. And then he drove in another run in the 11th to put the Wildcats on top before, unfortunately, they fell in the before they were able to win that game. He drove in the run that gave them the lead in the 10th, and they were able to hold on and win the game on Friday night 8-6. Then Saturday, the Wildcats had to score again in the 9th to force extra innings after being down early 4-zip in the game. 4 runs early by Smith Bailey that he gave up. And unfortunately, they could not. They got a run in the 10th to take the lead. So they had a chance to win again on Saturday, but could not close it out as Utah got 2 runs in the bottom of the 10th inning to win that game. And then you just heard the walk-off from yesterday, and this was a crazy affair. Arizona had a 4-zip lead early. Utah came back and took the lead with 3 runs in the bottom of the 8th. Arizona retook the lead again with 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. And then Utah won it with 3 more runs in the bottom of the 9th inning. So the pitching overall, Luke Flata was good yesterday, 7 innings, 4 runs, 7 hits. Obviously, he had the lead when he left. But the bullpen, for the most part, had issues. And that's going to be the big thing for this team. And when you look at, again, and I've always said about baseball, starting pitching, obviously you need that. That's a critical piece to the puzzle. But you win games with those guys that can get you outs in the 7th, 8th, and 9th innings. And the Wildcats obviously are working without one of the best guys they've ever had in being able to do that in Tony Pluta. And Matthew Martinez, who's kind of been up and down, gave up 3 runs yesterday. And then going back to the game on Saturday, you had McLean Roberts, who we interviewed. He was good again. He continues to have not allowed a run all season long.
I think you have to say from New Zealand, right? Like after you say his name every time?
McLean Roberts from Auckland, New Zealand.
There you go.
But Evan Brandt gave up the final 2 runs later, and some defense, some bad defense there as well, contributed to that as the Wildcats had a chance to maybe get out of there with at least 2 wins, potentially 3, but unfortunately they come home 1-2.
1951 was the first and only appearance in the College World Series by the Utes.
Utah Utes.
Is that shocking?
Yeah. They got. I think if I'm not mistaken, they're playing in a new park.
They're at America First.
Or is that
that's the Bees, right?
Is that the AAA?
I think that's where the Bees play. Yeah.
So that is a new park though overall, but yeah, it's a beauty. It looks like a beautiful new facility that they've opened up there in Salt Lake City. I was at the old park many moons
I've been there.
ago,
Yeah, I've been
but
there.
it's still a great view of the Sasquatch.
You know,
is that isn't that Sasquatch? That's Bigfoot.
Wasatch. Yeah, my mom's a graduate of the University of Utah, by the way, and she was born right outside of Salt Lake, so I'm very familiar with that area.
Smith Bailey, 4 earned runs, 5 hits in 5 1/3. He walked 1. He struck out 4. And Owen Kramkowski was not quite the Owen Kramkowski that won the Big 12 Player of the Pitcher of the Week before. Although he did strike out 8 in 5 1/3 and only walked 1, but he gave up 9 hits in that 5 1/3 inning. So not quite to the level of the starting pitching. That was the one day the bullpen, and again, that's the game you won. The bullpen was fabulous. Corey Kling and Garrett Hicks combined for 5 2/3 no-hit innings to allow the Wildcats to rally, come back, and win that one in extra innings on Friday night. So the fellas will be back home tomorrow. Now, we will not carry tomorrow's game on the air. That was a one-off last week due to the fact that it was ASU. But the fellas are back home against New Mexico tomorrow. First pitch is at 6 o'clock. And then their first Big 12 home series of the year will be this weekend against Texas Tech. Friday night, 6 o'clock, first pitch, national championship T-shirt giveaway from 1976. So they'll be celebrating the 1976 national champions on Friday night.
Good year.
At High Corbett Field. Beverage bat night. I love beverage bat night. That is probably one of my favorite things. That's where they give you this big bat that you can put beer into or whatever drink you prefer. It doesn't have to be beer. It can be Pepsi or whatever. I think we're a Coke school, so maybe Coke. And then Sunday is Hits Against Hunger Day. That'll be a noon start out at High Corbett Field. The Wildcats are home now for 5 straight games, as on the tail end, they'll play another Tuesday game next week against Grand Canyon. So a 5-game homestand coming up to see your Arizona baseball team this week. 520-848-1290. If you were out in Salt Lake City, if you went to any of those games, you saw the team, if you watched any of the games, would love to hear from you on that. Meanwhile, Arizona softball got their weekend in Lubbock, Texas against the number 2 Red Raiders off to a roaring start thanks to great pitching and the bat of one Grace Jenkins.
And Jenkins lifts this one toward left field. It's carrying, and it goes over the wall. Grace Jenkins touches them all. The Wildcats with a massive 3-run home run from Grace Jenkins. And Jenkins gets a hold of this one and absolutely torches it. Leaves no doubt about it, a grand slam for Grace Jenkins. She's now got 7 RBIs on the evening.
Yeah, Grace Jenkins, y'all. 7 runs batted in for Grace as the Wildcats won the series opener of that series against the number 2 team in the country and the best pitcher in college softball, Najari Kennedy, 9-0. 9-0 on Friday night. Najari gave up all 9 of those runs. Now only 4 of them were earned, so she got some not so stellar defense behind her. But when you hit the ball out of the ballpark, it's hard to it's hard to blame it on the defense.
Eerily similar to the Oklahoma series.
Yeah. When they got off to the good start.
A convincing win in game 1, followed by, what was it, 3-21 in game 2 in Oklahoma?
Exactly.
Yeah, something similar.
So the Wildcats got run ruled in the next 2 games. They lost game 2 of the series. They had to move the third game of this series up to Saturday due to expected bad weather in Lubbock. So they lost 14-6 in game 1 on Saturday, and they lost 8-0 in game 2. So they ended their streak of run rule wins. So they ended up winning 9 games by run rule. If you count the 9-0 game on Friday, that's a new program record. But then they turned around and got beat twice by run rule.
So that's 11 consecutive run rule games.
Yes, right? 11 consecutive run rule games there. Riley Holder started the last game, and she allowed 5 runs on 6 hits in 3 innings of work. The middle game there was also started by Riley, so she started both ends, but she only went 1 inning in the opener. That's probably why they brought her back to pitch again in the second game. She allowed 6 runs on 4 hits, so unfortunately not a great weekend for Riley Holder, who the Wildcats are really depending on trying to be that number 2 behind Jalen Adams. So the ladies are now 4-2 in Big 12 conference play, coming home this weekend for their Territorial Cup series against the rival Sun Devils, and those games will be on the radio. You'll be able to hear those on Freedom 1400 Friday night, 6 o'clock, first pitch. Saturday at 3, Sunday at noon. Derek Palmer will have the call on all three of those games on Freedom 1400.
523.
523.
That's your daily Serenity Trice batting average update.
Wow. That's got to be...
she has 45 hits in 86 at-bats.
Is anybody? I wonder if anyone's hitting better than that. I mean, I would imagine that, at least on the Power 5 level, that we'll have to look that up. That's probably as good a batting average, I think, as you're going to find right now in college baseball. 523.
Apparently, Mariah Poehler from Purdue is hitting 598.
Yeah.
Looks like she is tied for 9th nationally.
Yeah. So
there's probably about 15 players right now hitting above 500.
Yeah. Emily Leggett hitting 591. Caitlin Terry, who we saw this weekend with Texas Tech, hitting 574.
About 2 Bruins on that list.
2 Bruins, yeah. Megan Grant and Jordan Woolery are also hitting above 500. I didn't know North Carolina had such good hitting, but they do. They have 2 players on that list as well. But good on Serenity. She's still smacking that ball around at 523. And the Wildcats, again, they will likely be favored to at least win the series against the Sun Devils coming up this weekend, if not sweep that series.
How about 36 runs in 86 at-bats? That's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy to me, DK, when you're scoring a run. Regan Shockey is 41 out of 85. Almost half the times she gets up to bat, she scores a run.
Serenity?
Both of them. Regan Shockey is 41 runs on 85 at-bats. And Serenity is 36 and 86.
That's good stuff right there. That's what you want at the top of your order.
Yes.
Man. I can't imagine there's too many better 1-2s in college softball right now than those two. But in that last game against Texas Tech, they combined to go just 1 for 6. So there are pitchers out there that can shut them down. Najeri Kennedy, who did not look good in game 1 of that series, came back and allowed just 2 hits in 5 innings to win the series for the Red Raiders on Saturday. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. If you want to talk Arizona baseball or Arizona softball, please do so. I'd like to hear from you. If you were down in Lubbock at the softball series, what'd you see down there from the Wildcats? How'd you feel they played this weekend? If you were in Salt Lake City with the baseball team, both will be home this weekend here in Tucson. Dragon Ball is here. He is always home, safe at home, giving you your traffic so you can be safe at home very shortly, every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We do have some debris blocking the right lane on the I-10 going westbound near Marana at milepost 237. Try to avoid that spot right now if you can. Also, just a reminder that Speedway Boulevard west of Main Avenue is going to be restricted to 1 lane while the crews work on storm grates under the railroad tracks, but crews are set to leave there here at 5 p.m. Meanwhile, for your weather, still at about 87 degrees here, continuing to get the cool down until 72 at 9 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with the Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by WeatherBug.
Get the fastest local alerts and accurate 24/7 forecasts with WeatherBug. It's easy to use and provides real-time customizable alerts so the weather never takes you by surprise. Plan every day with confidence. Download the free WeatherBug app from the App Store now.
If you owe back taxes, listen carefully to rule number 1. Never go up against the IRS alone. They're cracking down, freezing bank accounts, garnishing paychecks, canceling passports. Even your home or business could be at risk. But here's what they don't tell you. The IRS has powerful tax relief programs that could save you thousands if you qualify. That's why smart people call Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax resolution firm. Nobody knows these programs like the experts at Optima. Their team of tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $2 billion in tax debt for people just like you. The IRS is not stopping, so don't wait and don't take them on alone. For tax help you need, for tax help you can trust, call Optima today for a free consultation.
Call 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955. 800-608-0955.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences tees off March 20th through the 22nd at La Paloma Country Club and the Westin La Paloma Resort and Spa. Watch PGA Tour champions battle for the legendary Conquistadors Helmet Trophy. Plus, Friday, March 20th, the Tucson Conquistadors present CQ Fest at Rillito Park with Lady A, Parmalee, Red Farron, and more. The Cologuard Classic by Exact Sciences benefits colorectal cancer awareness and youth sports. Get tickets now at CologuardClassic.com.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put member success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
Sean Furrier here for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. We've been proud corporate sponsors of Arizona Athletics for nearly 6 decades, and we've seen a lot of the Wildcat Championship drives. We're also proud to be the locals' choice for tires and automotive repair. Our 14 award-winning locations have helped thousands of Arizonans get to and from work, home, school, and every other desert destination since 1960. At Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care, we know the difference in your next winning drive might come down to a split-second decision behind the wheel, a single defensive stop, or an amazing fast break down the lane. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care is here to give you and your vehicle the assist you need with the most affordable tires and guaranteed quality automotive repairs, backed by our Arizona-proof protection, to make sure you have a winning drive every day. Find out more at jackfurriers.com, or you can call ahead, make an appointment online, or just stop by today. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. Since 1960, we're here to get you there.
A fiduciary has the regulatory obligation to put your best interest first. Trajan Wealth is a financial fiduciary for your investments. Call today, 520-200-1600.
Securities offered through Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Brackets are out. Your number one overall seed Duke Blue Devils are the favorite to win it all at 3-1. Michigan and Arizona are not far behind at under 4-1. Last year was the first time since 2008 that all 4-1 seeds made the Final Four, and only the second time in history with Caleb Foster injured and a loaded East bracket with UConn, Kansas, Michigan State, and St. John's. Don't necessarily go chalk in your brackets this year. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Furnished by IntelliBrands.
Have you ever felt leg pain, restlessness, cramps, tingling, swelling, numbness, itchiness, or coldness? Then you need the new patented Legsercise Pro, the natural circulation booster that uses continuous automatic leg movement to soothe pain and promote healthy circulation the natural drug-free way.
Using Legsercise made walking painless again.
Legsercise Pro's patented walking simulator propulsion technology moves your feet back and forth along its concave track, creating constant movement and flex at both the knee and ankle joints. It's like having a physical therapist right in your own home.
I have much less swelling and no more tingling.
Call right now and order your very own Legsercise Pro, the new proven automatic leg mover that soothes pain and naturally promotes healthy circulation. Call 800-555-1212. That's 800-555-1212. 800-555-1212 now.
These statements and products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease or condition.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. Time now for your Westwood One top plays. We won some with this guy last week.
Turnover, great hands, 4-on-1. Power play for the Clippers. It's a pass to Mathurin. Guess what? The claw is back. Leonard, leather larceny. Matherin the wing three. It's good.
Ben Matherin. He's finding his footing with the Los Angeles Clippers. 5 straight games of 20-plus points.
I mean, didn't you listen when I broke it all down?
You did.
Yeah, I mean, the style they play, they're going to try to he's great in ISO, and that's not what his coach in Indianapolis is trying to do. They're trying to play flow motion offense. So don't be surprised to see Ben Matherin amongst the 15, 20 top scorers in the NBA sooner rather than later in that style. And guess what? Kawhi's out. So Matherin's going to get even more field goal attempts than he has been recently.
And he's getting to the line. He's shooting 86% from the line since at least the last month, so since the beginning of this month of March.
He better, because he gets to the line 10 times a game. So he's got to be a good free throw shooter, because that's a huge part of his game is drawing fouls.
So we had Ben last week in the game against Minnesota, which they won 153 to 128. And they had run off 4 straight wins before they lost Saturday to Sacramento. Don't ever want to lose to Sacramento, at least not this year, but it happened. We had Ben over 17.5 points in that game, and he finished it with 22 points on 10 of 12 from the line in the contest. So we were able to win with Ben on that. We also won over the weekend. We had in the Mid-American Conference, so after UMass knocked out the Miami of Ohio Redhawks, we had UMass playing Toledo, and we had Toledo minus 2.5 over UMass. So Toledo eliminated the Minutemen before Toledo lost in the title game to the Akron Zips. So we won on that one, too. We also had Clemson in that game over North Carolina, money line, Clemson over North Carolina. That was a 1-point win by the Tigers to get them to the ACC championship game. So we did win on that one as well. We did, however, lose on the Sixers Friday. We took the Sixers in the 14.5.
They got a lot of guys out right now.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was a part of the conversation, but yeah, they're out, got a lot of guys out.
That was a flip. We probably should have just stuck with it. But we did flip that one. They told us to take the Pistons and lay the points, and we took the Sixers and the points, and they ended up losing, I think, by 23 in that game. So the Pistons covered it.
I'd have to look at an actual complete list, but I'm pretty sure they're down 3 starters at least.
Yeah,
right now.
Yeah, they are down some guys for sure. All right, we've got, I think, a couple plays in the NBA. Let's give you one here right now.
What's up, everybody? Nick Costos here helping you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. Coming up tonight in pro basketball, Houston, about a 2.5 point home favorite against the LA team in purple and gold. Total 227.5. Now, LA is riding high after its win against Denver on Saturday night. Here's where I'd like to go the other way. I like Houston laying the points here to take down LA. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
Yeah, I'm not convinced I like that, though.
Is LeBron playing?
I have not heard that he's
If
not.
LeBron is not playing, take the Lakers. If you hadn't heard, the record the Lakers have when LeBron's out and Luka and Austin Reeves play is like 12-1. Wow. They are actually much more successful this year when LeBron does not play. Those two guys are both 30-10 guys this year. So, yeah, but Houston is probably the most physical, tough-nosed defense in the league. So that's a tough matchup.
Let me see. I'm not seeing anything on LeBron's status for this game tonight. So you're saying go ahead and stay with that. Oh, gosh, I don't know. He is walking into the building. He looks good walking into the building.
It's a tough matchup. That's a tough matchup because the Rockets have some really good perimeter defenders that they can, hound Luka, and obviously, if you know anything about their coach Udoka, that's a very physical dude. He's trying to be a lot of getting guys off of their driving lines. DK is a big part of what they do.
All right, I'm gonna flip that. I'm gonna go with the Lakers and take the points tonight over the Rockets in Houston at minus 100. So our 1290 bet will be a straight up 1290 win if we can get that. We're talking a little bit about the Clippers. We also have the Clippers bet tonight, and the play here is the Clippers under their 112.5 point total.
Yeah.
On the season.
Well, like I said, if you didn't see what Kawhi did in the All-Star game where he scored 27 consecutive points and you haven't seen what Kawhi's been doing the last couple of weeks, I mean, he is just on a tear. he sprained an ankle, so he's not going to be playing. So much more likely. Their offense is so efficient with him and some of the younger guys running around. Obviously, Harden no longer there, Westbrook and all those guys. So they got some younger guys running up and down with Kawhi, but he's the figurehead. He's the reason why they're getting open looks. And without him in the lineup, much tougher for the Clippers to score points.
All right, so we'll take Clippers under 112.5 tonight at -110.
Other big NBA news came out today. Did you see?
I know they're voting on
next week. They are Board of Governors are going to vote on expansion.
Right.
You know when the last time they expanded the NBA? It was 2004 when the Bobcats came in. So Charlotte was the last expansion team that came out. Obviously, Oklahoma City moved, but the last time that they had an expansion draft where the expansion teams get to pick players off of active rosters was 20 years ago. So obviously Vegas and Seattle are the two teams that are prospective teams on the vote, and all signs point, DK, to that being pretty much something that's going to happen. The question then becomes, how do you realign? Because you're talking about two Western cities, so you would have to potentially put Minnesota in the East. There's some interesting things there, but I can't wait to see Seattle get a team back. I think that was one of the biggest travesties in sports.
Oh, yeah.
The ownership group based in Oklahoma City bought the Sonics, said we're not moving. The next year they said we're moving, and they never really had a chance. And that's one of the proudest fan bases around. They deserve a team up there in Seattle, and best alliterative nickname of all time, right? Seattle Supersonics need a team back there. And, I mean, Vegas is obviously the center of the sports world the last 10 years, so not surprising to see them after getting an MLB and getting, are the A's still moving there? Because there's some debate on that actually happening. Who knows? But obviously, with their success, WNBA title, the Raiders being there, it's not surprising to me that Vegas would be a destination for an NBA franchise.
Could we see a future where the Suns are not in the Pacific? I would think you would
so.
I think if you were adding those two teams, I would think you would add them to the. I mean, if there's a team that makes sense, you would move the Suns out of the Pacific, maybe to the Southwest potentially. And Memphis would probably be another team.
Memphis and
In
Minnesota.
the East.
Yeah, Memphis and Minnesota are the two teams that they're talking about strongly would be shifted to the East. But then how you do divisions, they might do away with divisions is another thing that I heard completely. It's a bit of a mess, but you have to have some kind of balance east-west as far as travel alone, because you're talking about how many times you have to travel across the country. It's not like a lot of sports where baseball is a series-based thing, right? And in the NBA, oftentimes you'll have back-to-back nights, one in New York and the next one back home. So, yeah, it's a little awkward, but I think there's enough talent right now, DK. The last 2 decades ago when they talk about expansion after Charlotte really struggled. The talent pool and the number of guys who came straight out of high school that struggled and really kind of weren't maybe ready for those bright lights. There was an era of NBA basketball in the mid-2000s that was not pretty to watch. It was much panned. But in the last 10 years, you talk about the European influx. You talk about Joker and Luka obviously being two MVP frontrunners along with Giannis, in addition to all of the amazing young American talent. I mean, think of the names. I mean, Tyrese Halliburton is 26, and that whole group. Anthony Edwards is still in his mid-20s, so there's a lot of really, really good players. And just think of Cooper Flagg, came in last year, AJ DeBonsa and all the guys in the draft this year, Darren Peterson. There's a ton of talent. NBA's probably never been as talented as it is right now, so a good time to expand. I think the situation is you pick 7 guys on your roster that are untouchable. So that's another question moving forward is, if you're a Suns fan, who's untouchable on the roster that you wouldn't want to see Vegas? And getting ahead of ourselves, we got to have the official vote, obviously, but there will be a time coming forward with expansion where they do have the expansion draft and you have to make players on your roster available for those teams to pick from.
Gosh, that's a tough one. You just asked a tough question there, J-Dub. How many guys do you get to protect? 7?
I think that's the number.
7?
Yeah. I think that's right.
So Devin, Dylan, Colin, Jalen,
Malawach.
He hasn't played much this year.
I know, but he's like 20, and he's like that's your future center. So it's really a contract-based thing. I was reading this an article today, or a message board today from the Spurs perspective, and that might be along with Oklahoma City, who has 10 starters. The Spurs might have the deepest, youngest roster in the NBA. But if you're talking about who those guys are going to keep, I mean, Carter Bryant is a guy you want to bank on the future as being your small forward of the future in a defensive lineup with Wembanyama. But he's right now like the 8th or 9th guy on that bench. So, yeah, I mean, it comes down to guys like De'Aaron Fox, who's making $30+ million a year.
You know, Mark Williams is only 24 years old.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's another young guy. I would be okay leaving Grayson Allen unprotected.
I think it's going to be a money thing as well.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to weigh in the efficiency and production for the player, also based on how much cap hit you're going to take in the next few years too.
And I would be okay maybe with Memphis being another team potentially that moves to the East. That would make Memphis makes more sense to me in the Southeast Division anyway. I think that makes sense, and than them being in the West.
Yeah, you push Minnesota and Memphis
New Orleans
to the East.
I could see New Orleans being another team potentially that could make more sense in the Eastern Conference than the Western Conference too. So, any thoughts on that? 520-848-1290. We've got the NBA Board of Governors. Would love to see Seattle back in. That would be a great thing for the history of the league.
I'll buy a jersey the day after
Las
it happens.
Vegas becomes a whole lot more attractive. And I've said for years, I said a long time ago that Las Vegas is the fastest growing sports market, and we could see them be 4-team deep here within the next 5 years.
The day after they open, James Harden will play there because he picks the teams he plays for based on adult entertainment. Let's put it that way. So I don't think there's any city in America that can match Vegas.
So he clearly did not pick Cleveland, is what you're saying.
He did not pick. But when he has a choice to pick is what I'm saying. Yeah.
All right, much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll dive more into the World Baseball Classic, Arizona basketball. We've got a sweet deal to tell you about coming up in the 5 o'clock hour as well. We'll hear more from Dragon Ball, get his thoughts on the WBC, and it was a good weekend for the Roadrunners, too. Tell you a little bit about that. DK on the Sports Tip. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have a crash blocking the intersection at I-19 northbound near the State Route 289, so be prepared for some backup out there. Also some property damage at North Oracle Road and West McGee Road, with north and southbound Oracle seeing majority of the backup out there. For your weather, currently getting to about 86 degrees or so. Continuing to go and get the cool downs here until we get to 72 at 9. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new Luxe Value menu has 10 lavish indulgences, all $3 or less. It's easy to get carried away. Like when you try the new mini taco salad, you might ask, do I need a salad fork? The fork in the bag's fine. Luxe Value menu at participating locations while supplies last. Price and participation vary. Tax extra.
Psst. Hey, Gary. Check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you.
You look like you were a million miles away.
I've been reading this book.
How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy? By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification.
It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens.
And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right.
Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important. It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55-plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet, Rely, and 2 lines of Essentials, Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Get your backyard summer ready with a custom pool from First Choice Pools. A backyard oasis built around you. First Choice is a full-service builder of beautiful in-ground pools and backyard designs for years of staycations. If you want to dive in this summer, now is the time to visit TucsonPoolBuilder.com. First Choice Pools for installs, renovation, remodeling, and repair. Get started today at TucsonPoolBuilder.com. Ask about our 60-day pool. To be summer ready, First Choice is the only choice.
En garde! Ever wanted to try an Olympic sport but think you're too old, too out of shape, too busy, or that those sports are just too unsafe? Think again. Fencing is taking the nation by storm, and it's a safe, fun, engaging sport that's perfect for everyone. Any age, any skill level. Classes are safe, active, engaging, and community-driven. No experience needed, and most clubs offer loaner gear for beginners. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Join David Kelly this Wednesday from 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards for Wild Card Wednesdays. Showtime Cards will have live box breaks happening right in the store. You never know what pulls might pop up. Whether you're into baseball, football, basketball, soccer, MMA, comics, Pokemon, Star Wars, or anything in between, Showtime Cards has something for every collector. Catch all the action this Wednesday, 3 to 6 at Showtime Cards, located on Speedway just east of Craycroft, with Wildcats Radio 1290.
Ugh, no, not the sink. Not now.
Plumbing issues can put your life on pause. But with anytime emergency scheduling, the neighborly done right promise, and more, Mr. Rooter Plumbing will have your life flowing again in no time.
All fixed.
Much better.
Mr. Rooter is proud to cheer on the Cats. Mention this ad for 10% off any plumbing service. A win for the whole family. Bear down, Arizona.
Mr. Rooter Plumbing, a neighborly company.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us. You can text us. I promised you I got a sweet deal coming up for you. I'm going to tell you about that here real shortly. Arizona basketball on their way to San Diego to take on Long Island University. The Sharks. Are there sharks in the waters around? I imagine it's the Atlantic, so I imagine there probably are some sharks in the waters around Long Island University. Well, how far out on the island is Long Island University? As a matter of fact, I got to look at a map and see exactly where on Long Island this is.
You know, both my sisters grew up in Long Island, so if you need an insider to the geography, I could probably get one of them on the phone.
It's right there. It's like literally right across the bridge. It's not far at all. Which bridge is that? It's right across the Brooklyn Bridge. So it's because Brooklyn is technically the beginning of Long Island, if I'm not mistaken. Correct? I know
let me get Laura or Sydney on the phone for you real quick.
I think it is. I think so. So when you cross the Brooklyn Bridge, obviously you're in Brooklyn. That's the beginning. That's the easternmost. The westernmost part of Long Island, and then you start to go out further, and you get into places like Amityville and Islip and Oyster Bay and all of those places right there. So yeah, it's this is Long Island University. So
there's multiple campuses.
Okay, so I'm looking at the Brooklyn campus then. Is that the main campus or no?
I don't know which one's the main. I just know that they do have multiple campuses.
Okay, so it looks like there's one in what's known as Orangeburg. Where is that? Well, that's actually that doesn't even look like it's on the Long Island side of the river. That's on the It looks like it's north of the city. It looks like it's way north, but it's not even on the Long Island side. How can you have Long Island University, but it's not even on the actual Long Island?
Brookville and Brooklyn are the two campuses.
Okay. So where's I'm looking at Orangeburg. Where is that? Not the main?
I think that's Brookville.
That's the Brookville.
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, anybody that wants, any New Yorkers out there that want to clear that up for us.
Hey, there's a lot of New Yorkers in the area, so I'm sure a lot of people have
If you are a New Yorker,
insight.
please clear up for us which one of these is the main campus, because the one in Brooklyn is the only one that I would. Okay, and I don't even know if people that are people from Brooklyn, do they can even consider themselves Long Island? I mean, I've always heard people from Brooklyn say I'm from Brooklyn, but I've never heard anybody from Brooklyn say I'm from Long Island. So I'd like to know the answer to that as well. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We've got how many days to figure that out? 4 or 5? We'll figure that out before we get to pregame on Friday morning. Rod Strickland is the head coach of the Long Island Sharks. Rod Strickland is a guy that has a storied NBA career. His first year in the NBA was 89-80. His last year in the NBA was 04-05. So that's about, 16 seasons or so?
Yeah.
That Rod Strickland played in the league over almost 1,100 games, averaged 13 points over his career, dished out 7 assists, playing for, came up initially with the Knicks, played in San Antonio for a number of years, was in Portland.
Bro, you wanted to hear some names?
Washington. Yeah.
How about Bernard King?
Yeah.
Jamal Mashburn. Pee Wee Kirkland, Walter Berry, Lenny Wilkins, and a certain guy from Connecticut who Arizona fans know all about.
Oh, from Connecticut. Who would that be? I don't even know. We'll have to wait and find
Kemba
out.
Walker.
Oh, Kemba Walker. Oh, yeah. Kemba Walker. For sure. But again, this is a guy that played a lot of years in the league, knows a lot of basketball, played in college, obviously at DePaul. For the the legendary Ray Meyer there, and so this is a guy that's got a hot rod, as he was known, or lightning rod, during his basketball years. So,
those are all people from the Bronx, by the way, that I named off. So yeah, Tiny Archibald. There's a long list of great ballers that came out of the Bronx, and Rod Strickland. I mean, that was our era, DK. Like I watched so much Rod Strickland, and it's interesting because his style of game when he played in the NBA is very reminiscent of Long Island University style this year, in that he was a very, not necessarily the quickest guy, but you could not keep him in front of you. New York guards were very famous for their ability to put guys on skates and get by them, and Rod Strickland, knew all the tricks of the trade. He could get to the rim. He could get to his mid-range. You know what he didn't do? He didn't shoot from the outside. Did you see the LIU stat? Okay, so there are 300 and how many teams in America? 356 these days.
You mean the Division I? Yeah.
Division I schools.
Right.
So Arizona, there's only 7 teams in America that shot less threes per game than Arizona did this year. It's very much talked about. Do you know who's one above them? Long Island, DK, with their 4 guards as their leading scorers, shot just slightly more three-pointers per game than did this year's Arizona men's basketball team. So it's a bunch of guards who play a lot like their coach, a lot like Rod Strickland, not necessarily settling for 23-footers, but trying to get busy and get into the lane and do damage from the 2-point era. So, yeah, very similar to what Rod Strickland did in his 17 years in the NBA.
All right, let's hear from Bill. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hi, good afternoon. Just a couple things. First, on the comment you made about the NBA and the expansion and wanting a team in Seattle.
Yeah.
No problem with that. But the NBA, unfortunately, is watered down already. That's why you have teams. And I think it's a shame from that regard, because you have teams beginning a season like Washington, like Charlotte. They have no shot. And so I'm really kind of, and it always obviously money and betting money and all these other things that have an influence. The other thing, I just wanted to make that comment. But the thing about, which is, I think, one of the very positive things going with U of A, first of all, I think they really should be the overall number 1 seed. I don't say that as a homer or anything like that. But if you look at ACC conference, if you look at the Big East conference, if you look at some of the other conferences, you have in the ACC where Duke is, you have Duke, North Carolina, and then, Syracuse isn't there. You have Clemson, all these, but they're basically per se mediocre schools as far as their scheduling and everything else this year. And with what the Big 12 has done, and thank God the refs let them play, they are such a level above other conferences that based on your competition level, I really think that Duke, to me, it's they just have the national interest and things of that nature, be it the and so TV, so they're on. The other thing about the 10:35 start that I find interesting, I've been to a lot of games, right, like many people out there, but many gyms around the country, many opening rounds, second rounds, all that stuff. And the first round games are usually 1 and 4, and then then in the second session, they'll clear the arena out and go back in again. And what I think for the kids, and they don't really think of them, you have a 10:35 game. Those kids at that level and with that type of what they've been through this year, they need to stretch, they need to warm up, and they need to eat. So, I mean, you're talking about going on the radio at 7 or something. That's what time they have to even start.
Yeah.
And I really, you have sleep in there. And I really, again, because of the TV revenue and things of that nature is the reason why. But I think it's just a shame that they do that for the kids. And just my friends, which I have all around the country, the big talk is Arizona, getting through and playing Arkansas. That a lot of people are thinking could be the biggest game or best game per se of this tournament. Everything's conjecture at this point, but it would be really cool to see, those two meet and see what happens. But that's pretty much. Thank you for giving me the opportunity, but I appreciate it. That's all I really had to say.
I will say, Bill,
Thank you.
The Duke Blue Devils set a record this year for the most quad one wins of any team in the history of the game. So the ACC was down, but they did play quite a lot of good games in their non-conference schedule. And obviously the Big Ten is a really, really strong league as well. Very similar to the Big 12. The Big 12 and Big 10 both have 3 or 4 top 10 teams all year long when you're talking about Nebraska, Michigan, so forth and so on. So, yeah, there's definitely a lot of – there's always going to be conversation as to who should be the number 1 overall top seed. The thing is, they don't take into account, DK, your recency. So your last 10 games used to be a huge factor going into seeding. In addition to any kind of injury issues, Duke lost their 2 best defenders in the last 2 weeks, and one of them might not come back at all for the tournament. Obviously, that wasn't taken into account. But if you look
you make a very good point. But because to me, the not contradiction that is at the beginning of the year, you can see how they rank the teams and all the kids, and that's what I love. I love following coaches. Lloyd's one of them. There's a lot of coaches I love following. And you see how they progress with their team, and the goal is to play your best in March. And when you play those games in Madison Square Garden, when Duke goes against Michigan State or whatever. That's not really reflective of where they will be each team toward the end of the season. Florida was ranked 1, and then Kansas was ranked 1. I don't know, it was last year or something, and where they end up.
It was Purdue this year unanimously. Purdue unanimously was considered the best team in America going into the season, and that didn't last long.
No, well, and it doesn't. And the interesting thing is also about the discussion of Miami of Ohio, which I thought was a really interesting subject because what the coach has said, there's like audio, he did an interview, and what he said was, well, nobody would play us. If that school, and I saw a little bit of them, if that school played some of those quad 1 teams, they would have no justification for even getting in. And not saying anything against those kids. Those kids play as hard as they can, but they play in front of like 5,000, 6,000, 7,000 people in some of those arenas, and the conference is just a conference. And that's where NIL comes into the picture. And we are blessed in this area, to have Arizona that has the funds for it. And it's interesting enough that I don't know people really realize how much money some of those kids get. And some of them, like Arkansas, they just signed a kid who's either first or fourth as far as coming out, and they gave him $7 million.
Well, that's because Tyson Foods opened up their bank account as soon as Calipari took over the job there, because they're linked in lockstep together. So they have infinite money.
Yeah, I would love to see somebody do a podcast or whatever on actually NIL money, meaning that how is it budget, meaning can the school only give so much, how much donation money can you get, and whatever. Because Calipari's the king of one and dones, and that kid's going. And my belief is the kids that are up there are going to the bigger schools. First thing they're going to look at the money, and the second thing is going to look at is the coach that you're going to play for. And that's where, Arizona has definitely went up with Lloyd and all. And just one final thing, and thank you for giving me time. And I'm trying to be arrogant, I've seen a lot of ball. And it's truly a pleasure to see 5 to 8 kids that don't have any egos on a team, like at that level. You have 2 kids that are projected to go pro after the first year. And you have another kid that could go, he should stay another year, meaning the Mo. But that is really a cool thing to see.
All you got to do, Bill, is recruit a kid who's the youngest of 8, whose 7 older siblings all played college athletics. You know how humble you're going to be if you've been the youngest in a family where you're not winning any backdoor basketball games until you get older. Yeah, no, I mean, clearly Coach Lloyd, his whole philosophy is to recruit great people who can play good basketball. And that shows this year.
Well, I think it's good. I think good basketball is one thing, but also those kids have to buy in. Some of those kids have to, just buy into the system, buy in anything. But again, his time at Gonzaga really has paid off, with this school. I mean, it's really a special thing that they have going on right now. Thank you. I really appreciate the time again.
Thanks, Bill. Appreciate you. Thank you so much. 520-848-1290 opens up a line for you to get in.
We did have some interesting NIL news come out today. Yaxel Lindenborg, who's the best player in Michigan, he said that he was offered $8 to $9 million to play in Lexington.
Wow.
Last summer. And chose to go to play with the Wolverines. So that's what he said today.
$8 to $9 million.
That's what he said today.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. Arizona is the earliest start time of all the number 1 seeds. But what I will say to what Bill was kind of pointing to there is the fact, and again, and y'all know I don't like the whole East Coast thing, East Coast dictating everything, but that's 1:35 on the East Coast. So it's one of the first games of the day on Friday that the majority of the nation will have an opportunity to see. So, yeah, unfortunately, it's early for us, but you're going to be in that main early window getting everybody lathered up for day 2. Arizona is going to be one of the primary teams playing in that early set of games window on Friday.
Chris, on her way up to the Big 12 Gymnastics Championship, she also mentioned the start time, and she asked me why. And I said one of the reasons, quite simply, is drama. Because a lot of the slot times, if you've got a team that's a 30-plus point favorite, DK, and you put them at because obviously for LIU, their body clocks are going to be more on par for having a 1 p.m. tip. But you're talking about if you're not used to, that's the earliest tip of the year. Right, for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah.
And not that, that should make such a big difference, but when you get into your routine, your pregame meals, you're going to take a nap, whatever it is, your shoot around, all that stuff. When you can't do those things, it changes your routine up a little bit. It's not uncommon for them to slot those start times of those 1 seeds that are huge favorites at an awkward early time slot. And I'm not saying that they're trying to make Arizona lose. The chances are astronomical because we'll talk a lot about that all week. They're just a really bad matchup for LIU. But the idea, Dragon Ball, that they're going to put those teams that are highly favored by 30-plus points in maybe a less than favorable time slot, DK nailed it. It's for ratings. But it doesn't hurt for ratings if that team that's favored by 30 is somehow in a 10-point game with a couple minutes left.
Not to mention in the first round, what's the games that you're really going to be paying attention to in the first round of the NCAA tournament? It's going to be those 7 versus 10s, those 12 versus 4s. It's those matchups that you really kind of pay attention to, at least on the first day of the tournament, the first few days of the tournament, I should say, because those are the ones where you're like, okay, who's going to be that Cinderella? Who's going to be that double-digit seed that makes it to the Sweet 16? And those are the games that are going to get a lot more of the favorable times just because, okay, we want to go ahead and have the most broadcast available for people to make stories about those particular teams.
All right, real quick, Dragon Ball, who do you want to see the United States baseball team play in the World Baseball Classic final? Venezuela or Italy?
I would rather see Venezuela.
Oh.
That's a matchup I really, really like. I just think Venezuela is a very good team, and I would love to see that as the matchup. Plus, to be completely honest, I would have rather have seen the Dominican Republic in the final than Japan or anything. Like I love that rivalry for baseball purposes. It's one of my favorites.
Was the last pitch a strike?
No, absolutely not. How that was a strike is still a mystery to me. Give all credit to if my dad constantly says that framing is a lost art. That pitch proved otherwise.
Well, they're going to AI next year, right?
Yeah.
So they're a couple months.
Something.
Right. I'm just throwing that out as a catch-all. Like, clearly it's not going to be AI, but the idea that you can have the pitch tracker, much like they do in tennis, right, to see if serves are going to be in or out, they'll be able to check that right away, but not last night.
Yeah, but that being said, every soccer fan will tell you VAR does nothing.
All right, Dragon Ball's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. We have an accident with possible injuries over at South 12th Avenue and West Valencia Road. Majority of the backup here going to be on east and westbound Valencia there. Meanwhile, some property damage over at West Ruthroff Road and North Solinger Avenue, causing some major backup here on eastbound Ruthroff as you get towards that crash. For your weather right now, still sitting at about 86 degrees, continuing with the cool down here, going down to 83 at 6 before 72 here at 9 o'clock. I'm Dragon Ball through Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance flexes to fit your business needs. From quick repairs to adjustable coverages and even payment options, Progressive Commercial makes it easy to get what you need. Get a quote today in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com.
Hey, it's Shannon. Tucson is full of hardworking people, and when a car accident turns your life upside down, Cruz & Associates is ready to work hard for you. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Here's the tale of Tina, searching up and down for decent GLP-1s, but got spun around.
Till Good RX wrote in, hey, we got something new. GLP-1 prescriptions, all FDA approved.
Brand name meds, no flags that are red.
Clear pricing from the start. None of those hidden fees in your cart.
Delivered to your door or pick up same day. Darn tootin'.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Hot foot it to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams Spring Sale and get 35% off paints and stains March 13th through the 23rd. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
From offices and warehouses to retail spaces and restaurants, the right lighting transforms your environment. At Arizona Commercial Lighting, we've been proudly locally owned and operated for nearly 40 years. Our extensive inventory of in-stock lighting solutions is designed to meet both commercial and residential needs, with quality, variety, and value you won't find anywhere else. Visit us at 1436 East 17th Street or explore our offerings online at azcommerciallighting.com. Be sure to ask about available TEP rebates. Arizona Commercial Lighting, powering business through precision lighting.
Meet Barkley. When Barkley smells gas, he leaves fast. When Barkley hears hissing coming from a gas appliance, he leaves fast. When Barkley sees dirt or water shooting from the ground, he leaves fast. Barkley then calls 911 and Southwest Gas from a safe location.
Did that dog just grab a phone and dial 911?
Gas lines can be buried anywhere, so remember to call 911 and Southwest Gas.
Wildcat fans, where do you go when the final buzzer sounds? You don't head home. You head to Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies, Tucson's home court for great food, craft beer, and nonstop fun. At Roadies, you can bowl, throw an axe, play arcade games, or grab a burger while the next game plays on the massive screens. Then, catch the newest movies right next door at Roadhouse Cinemas with luxury recliners and full in-seat dining. Game days, movie nights, anytime. Make it a win at Roadhouse Cinemas and Roadies on the corner of Grant and Swan.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV, and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Score now at Royal Buick GMC with slam dunk savings all month long. Take your shot with low-cost leases, like the 25 GMC Sierra 1500 Elevation Edition, leasing for $249 a month for 24 months with all taxes and fees included. Or score big on value and style in the 25 Buick Envista, for $375 a month for 36 months. Drive home a slam dunk deal when you save over $13,000 off a 26 GMC Sierra 1500 Crew Cab. Offers end 3/31/26. Call 520-407-3928 for details about costs and terms. Hurry before time runs out on the slam dunk savings at Royal Butte GMC in the Tucson Auto Mall or RoyalTucson.com.
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. It was a milestone weekend in the National Women's Soccer League. The NWSL just kicked off its 14th season with plenty of buzz, including the debuts of expansion clubs Boston Legacy and Denver Summit. In Boston, more than 30,000 fans packed Gillette Stadium for the city's first women's professional soccer match since 2017. The Legacy's historic home opener ended in a 1-0 loss to defending champion Gotham FC. The turnout set a league mark for an expansion team's home debut, though it may not last long. More than 50,000 fans are expected when Denver hosts its home opener in 2 weeks. League Commissioner Jessica Berman believes the momentum.
I always say that the unique elements of the NWSL and women's soccer in this country is that it's really the only team sport that when you close your eyes and you think of greatness, you think of women first. And so the best players literally in the world call the NWSL home, and we're excited to bring that to the community each and every week.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Erica Herskowitz on Westwood One.
Straight Talk Wireless presents Pickup Truck Wisdom.
Trust is earned. That's why I've stuck with Straight Talk. Same price since 2009 on Verizon's 5G network. Cause shoot, anyone can make a promise. Keeping it for years, that means something.
Now plans starting at $25 a month with 4 lines. Find us at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless. Straightforward. Always. Same price claim applies only to the base monthly price of our $45 plan from October 2009 to present.
With love I will build a wonderful thing that makes this life better for you and for me.
Shriners Hospitals for Children has been creating wonderful opportunities for children in need. This life-changing medical care helps them do the things they've always dreamed of. To find out more, go to loveshriners.org.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It was a good weekend down at the arena for your Tucson Road Runners.
Top of the zone, left wing side for Lamoureux. One-timer near side for Simashev. Loose on the front door. Backside, Agazino scores! Stretched forward for Lipin. Over the blue line into the offensive zone. Right wing corner. Kept it through Beck. In around the end wall to the far side. Centering pass. Right to Lamoureux, who shoots and scores! Maverick Lamoureux's got 2.
And the Roadrunners got 2 wins over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, knocking off San Jose, 6-4 Saturday and 5-4 yesterday. The Roadrunners are now 27, 23, 9, and 0, but they're still stuck in 8th place in the Pacific Division because the division is so good this season. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. The Roadrunners will be on the road this coming weekend. They'll head up to Canada, Manitoba, to take on the Moose Saturday and Monday before coming back home to face Ontario at the TCC the following weekend. All right, we found Brookville. Brookville actually is on Long Island. That makes sense. It's on the north side of Long Island. So Brookville is not near Amityville. Everybody knows Amityville. That comes from my generation. Amityville is on the south side of Long Island. Brookville is more towards the north side of Long Island. So it actually is. I don't know what this little body of water here that it's near. None of these bodies of water, but it's kind of the body of water is near Glenwood. But yeah, it's in that area. It's north central side of Long Island. Looks like it's about maybe 30, 40 miles out from the city, up the island.
Kings and Queens and Nassau and Suffolk. Those are the counties.
Okay. There you go. Any idea what this river-looking body of water is here that's close to it?
I'm not looking at the same map as you are, but I definitely have been through New York. My sisters both grew up in New York and born and raised there. I myself has only been through there a few times. Like, I haven't really spent time, and they haven't been there for decades. So,
and there's Brookville, there's Old Brookville, and there's Upper Brookville. So I would imagine that's Upper Brookville. Is that where the rich people live?
That would probably track. That would be my guess, yeah.
and the po folk live in Old Brookville. Is that how that works?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen in images, Brooklyn has been built up quite a bit in the last 20 years.
Brookville.
No, I understand what you said, but that area has been built up a lot. Right. So I think it's a lot of
not too far from Oyster Bay. Have you been to Oyster Bay?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
All right. Let's hear from Ray. You're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hey, how you guys doing?
We are doing well, Ray. We're trying to learn some geography about where the Wildcats' opponent is located.
Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, well, it'll be what it'll be, man.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, comment on number one seed. I mean, I don't think it matters. As long as you get that as long as you get that number one seed, the main thing is you're in your region. As far as overall number one seed, the only other benefit is, weakest 2 or 3, and that's really subjective, and that's like rolling the dice. I mean, that really doesn't pan out. Just so you're home in your region, so it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
That's
the
my opinion. As far as
the funny thing is that Duke is the number 1 overall top seed, right? They have the toughest region. I don't think anybody's questioning that.
They have just as tough as matchup as Arizona. In fact, I'm glad for the matchups. We don't want to see any of those Big 12 teams again in our immediate region, man. I mean, and not until the Final Four. I mean, that was one of the worst things that could have happened is we could face Houston or Iowa State, who we've beaten twice, And I welcome Arkansas. I think that's good for Arizona's DNA. They need a challenge, man, in that second weekend.
Yeah, so DK, Duke has UConn, Michigan State, Kansas, and St. John's in their region.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. And so, they'll probably come out. But hey, I have a question. So if Arizona is up big in this first round, first game, during the second half, do you think Tommy Lloyd will change strategy a little bit and rest his starters earlier? Or do you think it's just he's going to stick to that mandate rotation? What do you guys think?
We've had this conversation all year long, and I think the answer to that question is no.
I think what you'll probably see, Ray, is
if he gets up 30, like if they're up 25-30, I think in that game, maybe he dials it back a little bit towards the end.
All things being equal, like in a vacuum, no, nothing changes. However, if you think about, Jaden Bradley with his wrist issue, hitting a kneecap, and a little, Braden Burries wasn't exactly himself. If there are behind the scenes a couple of guys who could use a little bit of extra rest, those guys will probably come out. But at this time of year, you don't want to change anything. You want to keep your routine. You want to keep your minutes. You want to keep your rotations as similar as you have done for the first 32 games of the year. You start changing things up now, it gets a little awkward. And, you want to make sure that those guys own it. Kelvin Ifon, the captain, who's a esteemed member and probably, basically the heart of our postgame and pregame shows, he always talks about that in particular, where you got to make those guys who are the starters and the rotation guys own whatever happens. Own whatever it is that happens during that game, Ray. So you want to make sure that you don't take those guys out. That was the logic that Coach Lloyd mentioned during that Colorado game. It's a meaningless game. They'd already wrapped up the regular season. But when Colorado made a game of it and get out to an early lead, he wanted to make sure that those guys owned whatever happened throughout that game. So outside of, 30-point lead with 8 minutes to go, you're not going to probably see too much changes.
Well, that's what I was talking about. A 25, 30-point lead, 10 minutes to go. Do you take advantage of that? And by the way, no disrespect to you guys, man. You're great. But I listen to your show because of Yvonne, man. He's spot on.
Hey, I've been working here 10 years, Ray, and I listen to our show because of Kelvin Yvonne. Come on.
He's the best. He is absolute. I will put him up with any other analyst in the city. There's nobody that breaks it down better than Kelvin Yvonne.
Yes, sir. I appreciate the time, man. You guys have a great one, and go Cats.
Ray, thank you. Bear down, go Cats as well. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program to share your thoughts about Arizona basketball, World Baseball Classic. The game tonight has started between Venezuela and Italy. Who do you got? Who you want to see Team USA play? I say I want to see them play Italy. Dragon Ball said he would prefer to see Venezuela. So we've got a difference of opinion there. I just think United States and Italy, that would be a much more marquee game, I think, here than Venezuela.
You didn't ask me, but my answer is always the same. I always root for the underdog. I always root for the team that maybe isn't expected to be there. And clearly that's Italy. Nobody expected them to beat America, and it's a good story. And it doesn't matter how many American-born players are on that roster through their heritage. It's just I like it. I like it when those teams that you don't. We all knew Japan would be a favorite. We all knew America was up there. We all know Dominican Republic, Venezuela, those teams, DK. But Italy is not a team you think of when you think of baseball. So the fact that they're on the brink of being in the finals, I think that's a great story.
That body of water that I wanted to know, it's called Hempstead Harbor, is the body of water that kind of cuts in between near where Brookville, New York is on Long Island. So,
well, next time I'm near Oyster Bay, that's good information to have.
Yeah, there you no Oyster Bay. That's its own little entity. Oyster Bay Harbor. That's even further up north. But that looks like a pretty cool. They got some. I see a couple I see an Oyster Bay Harbor Club. I wonder how much money you got to pay to get up in there. But Hempstead Harbor has a club as well. So, that's where the rich people live, right?
Harbors love their clubs.
If you're going to live on the water in New York State, you're probably going to have a little bit of coin in order to do that. One segment left to go. DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. I haven't even gotten in. I asked Dragon Ball's opinion of what he thought of that last strike last night in the game between the United States and the Dominican Republic. I'll give you my opinion on that straight ahead. Dragon Ball is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz & Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Reminder that 5th Street Road project between Country Club and Wilmot is still underway. However, crews are done for today. They will be back tomorrow at 7 a.m. to mill the south side of 5th Street between Country Club and Alvernon. Milling and paving said to be done by April, while the project is said to be done by October. For your weather, currently sitting at about 85 degrees. The tooling's starting to come down now, 72 by 9 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh, no. How bad? When will my AC be fixed?
I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh, my God. What?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Did you know about 1 in 3 people with plaque psoriasis may also develop psoriatic arthritis, which causes joint pain, stiffness, and swelling? Does this sound like you? Listen to what it sounds like to be a million miles away. Tremfya guselkumab, taken by injection, is a prescription medicine for adults with moderate to severe plaque psoriasis who may benefit from taking injections or pills or phototherapy, and for adults with active psoriatic arthritis. Serious allergic reactions and increased risk of infections and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check you for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or if you need a vaccine. Imagine being a million miles away. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya. Visit tremfya.com or call 1-800-526-7736.
En garde! U.S. Olympians do it. Your neighbor's kid does it. And yes, it's the only socially acceptable way to carry a sword. Fencing. No, not the kind that keeps dogs in. This is the Olympic and Paralympic sport for all ages. Fencing is fun, safe, and welcoming. Physical chess that builds both body and mind. Kids and adults make friends fast, stay active, and even open doors to college programs nationwide. Learn more and find beginner classes near you at usafencing.org/tryfencing.
Every day is a balancing act, with work, family, goals, all asking for more. It helps to have tools that meet you at every step and a team that will always be by your side. We're ICCU. We're a credit union that has been helping members achieve financial success since 1940. In fact, we put members' success first, one by one, year after year, for 85 years and counting. Now, we're here for you, Tucson. Join us, ICCU.
Here's a tale of Linda trying to lose weight, but the med prices she found were all over the place.
Hidden fees and markups made her jaw drop low. Then she found Good RX. Now she's in the know.
GLP-1 subscriptions FDA approved.
With clear upfront pricing.
And same-day pickup.
That's Good RX, the no-nonsense way. Save time and money on prescriptions.
Get to goodrx.com/weight loss. GoodRx is not insurance. As America's #1 motorcycle insurer, Progressive has your back.
Oh, like if I need a replacement part?
Sure, we can help with that.
Ah, nice. Hey, I just entered this online contest for coolest bike in the world. You think maybe you can vote for me?
Actually, we just do insurance, not popularity contests.
Yeah, I know. But what's your email? I'll just send you the link real quick. You can vote like 100 times a day. They'll never know.
To be clear, Progressive has your back for insurance only. So get a quote and see if you can save.
So what I'm hearing is there's a little bit of wiggle room.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates covered subject to policy terms, limits, and conditions.
My heat and air were in a state of disrepair.
Spring is in the air and our warm temperatures are about to turn hot. Now is the time to take advantage of pre-summer savings before the hot summer weather. Pixrock's Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing is offering 5-year, no-interest financing on the installation of green HVAC systems, OAC. Call now for your free estimate, 520-492-0748, or make your appointment online at pixrockscooling.com.
Picture Rocks Cooling, Heating, and Plumbing.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. EssentialPest.com.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Last night was a perfect example in the World Baseball Classic why the automated ball strikes challenge system cannot get here soon enough. Team USA may have ultimately beaten the Dominican Republic, but a game of that magnitude in a moment that big should not be determined by a horrible call by an umpire. The use of ABS will take some getting used to, but last night's game is exactly why it's long overdue. I'm Adam Abdallah.
What if your instincts could pay off? With Robinhood Prediction Markets, you could put your knowledge to work on the events that matter to you. Prediction Markets isn't just sports. It's the Fed rate decision, your favorite award show, and so much more beyond the playing field. Trade events with Robinhood. Visit Robinhood.com/predict. That's Robinhood.com/predict. Futures and cleared swaps trading involves significant risk and is not appropriate for everyone. Event contracts are offered by Robinhood Derivatives LLC, a registered futures commission merchant and swap firm.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, final segment of our show. I've been telling you about this sweet deal that I've got. I've got to give that to you before we get out of here. This Friday, sweet deal from Coop by Cowpig. Coop by Cowpig. Have you heard of Coop by Cowpig? Cheetah.
Or have now.
It's on 4th Avenue. I've got a $50 gift certificate for just $25. Friday morning, 8:30 a.m. at WildcatsRadio1290.com. Coop by Cowpig. Tucson's tastiest chicken is located in the heart of Tucson's 4th Avenue district. Stop by and try the Tour of Coop, a.k.a. the Cluck Box, which includes your choice of a chicken sandwich or smash burger. I love smash burgers. They're cooked all the way through, which is mandatory for my hamburger. I can't have red. A couple of tenders and an order of buffalo fries or a waffle to add some sweetness. The chicken is gluten-free for all to enjoy. The fun doesn't stop at fried chicken. You can try their delicious Bourdain burger and cow melt. I don't know if that's two different sandwiches or one. Lunches, birthdays, backyard hangs. You can bring the people. They bring the flavor. Or you bring the people. I'll get this right here. You bring the people. They bring the flavor. Find your new favorite comfort meal at Coop by Cowpig. It's at 429 North 4th Avenue. Stop on by today. We've got a sweet deal Friday, so you could get this sweet deal because, of course, we've got the 4th Avenue Street Fair coming up this weekend, the spring version. So get your gift certificate, a $50 gift certificate for $25, sweet deal Friday morning, and then head on down this weekend and use it at the 4th Avenue Street Fair for Coop by Cowpig. There you go.
You don't know nothing about melts, that's for sure.
I don't like a cow melt. I know nothing about that.
Well, yeah, like that's a twist on a patty melt, which is just a hamburger with onions on, usually sourdough, but the cheese would be the melting part, and that's not something you do.
A Bourdain burger, is that anything to do with the famous Anthony Bourdain?
One would assume, yes, Anthony Bourdain, famous, yes. Has to.
There we go. All right, so we've established where Long Island University is on the Sound, the Oyster Bay, on the north side of Long Island. It is where the Sharks, I'm sure there are some Sharks in Oyster Bay or the Long Island Sound, and let's just hope the Sharks on the court don't bite a whole lot. Let's hear from the head coach of the Long Island Sharks. It is your Casino del Sol replay.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Rod Strickland, I mentioned, played a whole lot of years in the NBA out of DePaul. Why did he take this job at Long Island?
Well, the goal, and I said it, and I'm one of those guys, I don't speak out.
Right.
I speak in my circle and to my people, and I said that when I came to, I was about to say Conference USA because I thought of Memphis when I took this job. Memphis with Cal being in Conference USA, how we dominated the conference and then went to the tournament. So the goal was to be number one, and it was to try to do this consistently. And it took some time, but yes, from the beginning, I felt that, I wouldn't have taken this job if I didn't think I could make an impact. I just wouldn't. I don't know if that would have made any sense for me to walk in here and think that,
right.
I'm just coming to take a job because it's in New York.
There you go. And this is a guy who is, right now, he doesn't necessarily have the level of players that he was when he played in college and when he played in the NBA, a former NBA All-Star, but he has taken these guys that he has, and he talks about coaching up guys that maybe aren't at his level as a player and trying to at least push them to be closer to the level of player that he was.
I'm here to teach. Like, that's my job. So you meet people where they're at. My frustration may be sometimes where, because young people, and forget me and what I've done, just in general, young players, they don't want to hear certain things. And they get insecure about their flaws and all that. So sometimes it's frustrating when you're trying to, some information that you have, they might not receive right. And I think any player or coach would tell you that. On the basketball court, I played the right way. You know, it was never about me. Even if I was the best player, the second best player on the team, I walk in the game, and I'm trying to figure out how we win the game. So, you know what I mean? So it was a little different in that. But, I mean, that's what it's about. I think if you ask any coach, they go through all of that. But it can't be about me. Like, I can't worry about, like, you know what I mean? Like, it can't be because I played at a certain level, you know, these guys got to play. No, my job is to help them grow and play how the style we want to play, especially where we're at. We're in the NEC. So I got to take a different picture. You know, if I'm playing in the NBA or if I'm coaching at Memphis and Kentucky, those are different pictures and different players and different mindsets. Because some of these young players, right? So, for instance, you get a player from a higher level, right? But he didn't play there. And there may be a mental thing because he may have been beaten down a little bit. So now he comes here and we're at this level. Now I got to figure out how do I kind of, navigate that. I've been through some things. I've had some battles and so I understand that.
Yeah.
And so I think I can deal with that better, right? Because I don't take it so personal. I want to try to figure out how, you know, because there's times in the season where, you know, a young person may not be receiving everything. So how do you do that? Do I give up on them? Or do I try to figure it out? Because I can be coach and say, I'm sitting you down because you didn't do this. But does that help the big picture? Or does that help him?
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
That was Rod Strickland talking last week. Again, his team was the first to clinch a berth, win one of the automatic bids to the NCAA tournament. This is his fourth season. His first year at Long Island, they were 3-26. The second year, they won 7 games in 23-24. Last year, they won 17 games and finished second in their league. This year, 24-10, 15-3 in their league. They won the regular season conference standings, and they also won their tournament to get in. That would be really cool. I mean, again, as a guy, you know, he was actually kind of I believe when he was on Cal's staff at Memphis, he wasn't a coach. He was behind the scenes. I think he was director of basketball operations there. So he was just kind of starting to get into the coaching side of it, and then was eventually had an administrative role with Cal at Kentucky. But the comparison there of what they did, I always thought it was fascinating what they were able to do down in Memphis. I mean, I lived there during the 3 years, and right before I moved here, 2008 was the year that they went to the finals. I talked about the other day and lost to Kansas because they couldn't make their free throws down the stretch. But what Cal was able to do there in a small community, but with a proud basketball tradition, it would be really fun to see if Rod Strickland could recreate something like that at a place like Long Island, where you can pull from a very strong basketball
the thing is, like,
New
there's
York.
never been a great, and St. John's has had a couple of years, but that, like, as far as how much talent comes out of New York relative to how much college success. How about this, DK? John Wall, Eric Bledsoe, and Brandon Knight are 3 guards that Coach Strickland worked with when he was with Cal at Kentucky. How about Derrick Rose?
Yeah.
He was with Coach Cal at Memphis when Derrick Rose was there. So he certainly.
Was that 08 team.
Yeah, so we just got done hearing from him talk about how he coaches LIU level players, but certainly Coach Strickland has been around some NBA All-Star level players at the college level.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun to kind of see what that team is all about. Guard heavy, like you said, when they come into San Diego this weekend to take on your Arizona Wildcats. All right, before we get out of here real quick, I do want to get in World Baseball Classic. I thought the pitch last night was a strike. I guess I'm in the minority of people that thought that last pitch, because, again, and like I said, I've been an umpire before. I've never obviously umpired at that level. But to me, it's not, and it's always been, for me, not where the catcher catches the ball, but where the ball is when it crosses the plate. And on naked eye look, to me, I mean, we can sit here and we can analyze that all up and down after the fact and whatnot. But to me, when that ball crossed the plate, hit the plane of the plate, the front of the plate, it was at strike levels at the knees. So for me, that was a strike last night. I know there's a lot of people, and you're hearing all that. We had the national, report there that just before we came on for this last segment saying it was a horrible call. I thought it was a strike. Unfortunately, we're out of time on this show, so maybe we'll get into a little bit more tomorrow as we get ready for the final and tomorrow night, because I'd like to hear from umpires. I'd like to hear from people that actually umpire the game here in Southern Arizona about what they thought of the call. And we're talking a lot of things about, replay and all of that. That's great. But on naked eye, to me, I thought it was a strike. And the other thing I'll say about it is that umpire, I don't know who it was, that umpire was calling low strikes all night long. So if you haven't figured it out by the ninth inning that umpire is calling low strikes, then that's on you, Dominican Republic. That's on you. Because as far as I'm concerned, that was a strike last night in the ninth inning to send the United States into the World Baseball Classic Championship game, where they will await the winner of this game happening right now in Miami, where Italy is off to a 2-zip lead. They loaded the bases in the second. They were able to get a couple of runs home. They lead Venezuela 2-0, top of the third inning right now. All right, tomorrow we'll be back with you, 3 o'clock. Wednesday, we're going to be at Showtime Cards. I am going to be heading out to San Diego to cover your Arizona Wildcats. We'll originate shows out there Thursday and, of course, very early Friday morning for Meridian Wealth Management Arizona Game Day, 7 a.m. Join us, breakfast with the Wildcats as we get you set for the NCAA tournament. Thanks to J.W. Madden. Thanks to Dragon Ball. As always, most of all, thanks to you for listening. Tomorrow we'll also check in on the Pima Aztecs. They play early in the morning. Both the teams will be playing in the first round of their NJCAA tournaments, so that should be a whole lot of fun as well. Enjoy the rest of your night. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
For the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. 22nd Street is still closed between Tucson Boulevard and Cherry Belle Avenue. This is also including access to northbound Aviation Parkway. Eastbound turns from Aviation Parkway on 22nd Street will not be permitted, and the Aviation Bikeway is closed north and south of the bridge there. Meanwhile, for your weather, we're still getting too close to about 83 degrees, dropping all the way down to 72 degrees here at 9 p.m. I'm Dragon Ball with you, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive Commercial Insurance can protect your small business with over 30 coverage options, an easy-to-use mobile app, personalized discounts, and more. Get a quote in as little as 8 minutes at progressivecommercial.com. Discounts and coverage selections not available in all states or situations.
Hey, it's Shannon. If you drive around Tucson, you've probably seen Cruz. Like me, they're part of this community. And when one of us is injured on the job, they're here to help. Injured? Call Cruz.com. Cruz and Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Psst. Hey, Gary, check it out.
What's he doing?
Don't bother me. Is he...
I think he is. William?
Don't bother me.
Are you daydreaming?
I was. Now I'm talking to you. You look like you were a million miles away. I've been reading this book. How to Be Happy While Still Being Grumpy?
By Frederick J. Fuzzypants?
I've learned I'm happiest when I know our customers get an early Alaskification. It's one of the best ways to catch trouble before it happens. And I've learned I'm happiest when we promise no breakdowns for a year.
What else? What else makes you happy?
That's it. Alaskifications make me happy.
Alaskifications make our customers happy.
Gary's right. Getting your AC ready for the Arizona heat is important.
It's the most thorough tune-up for the money in town.
And that's how we promise no breakdowns for an entire year.
William, what are you doing now?
I've never seen this before.
Is he?
I think he is. William, are you smiling? AlaskanAC.com. Schedule now.
Hi, you know me, Scott Lehman from ScottSaysYes.com. Check out this month's Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar powered by Premier Auto Center. Visit the Wildcats Radio 1290 Community Calendar at wildcatsradio1290.com to find out what community events are coming up in the Tucson area. You can also find Wildcats Radio 1290 events, upcoming sporting events, and more. Get the details and get involved with our community at wildcatsradio1290.com. Go to ScottSaysYes.com today.
Life's busy. Errands, kids, work, the I-10 grind. Who's got time to sit at a detail shop?
That's why Recon Auto Detailing comes to me. Mobile detailing keeps my car spotless without losing a minute of my day.
From mobile washes to in-shop ceramic coatings, tint, and paint protection, we're Tucson's one-stop shop for keeping your ride looking new. Convenience, care, confidence, that's Recon Auto Detailing. Ceramic Pro West, Tucson.
Hi guys, I'm back. What's new?
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio.
All the Scratch and Dent merchandise has its own new studio.
There were so many Scratch and Dent discounted items. Now they have a place of their own.
I love it. A whole Scratch and Dent studio right next to Tucson Appliance. They don't look like Scratch and Dent,
but it shows in the low prices.
Tucson Appliance Scratch and Dent Studio. Proud local supporters of the Southern Arizona Heartball. Only at Tucson Appliance, where you are a priority.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit essentialpest.com.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals?
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Big Jake here from Old Tucson. Enjoy Hollywood-style stunt shows, saloon shows, magic, shootouts, rides, games, fine food and drinks, and more. For more family fun than you can shake a stick at, head on out to Old Tucson, oldtucson.com.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tuned to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at iccu.com.
The day shuts down. The games light up. This is BetMGM Tonight on Westwood One.